We are so glad to be with you tonight. Now, I am going to walk you through Bitcoin, DOGECOIN, and some other coins. We are the premier, guys. We're the premier kind of day trading group. We focus on pricing targets. Welcome if this is your first time. We're really excited to be able to bring you this information, guys. Pricing targets, pricing targets, pricing targets. We have had a great day. So did you guys kind of catch up with us? We have had multiple trades. Let me go ahead and get my book, guys. We have had multiple trades today. We're talking about like 25% on FSN. We had 30% on Forum. IOI achieved about a 10 to 18%. Nord about a 20%. Guys, before that we achieved, what is it? 03 got 70%. We also hit on Forum yesterday, I think about 50%. Some of us. T-Fuel also about 30%, guys. So we really had some fantastic, like 2, 3, 4, or 5 trades just lined up, knocking them out of the park. It was a really exciting day, 20-30% on a lot of different trades. Very exciting in terms of the membership. We saw a lot of positive trades. And yeah, we just wanted to come to you tonight and make sure you guys understand about VIPs. Okay, VIPs. And that's the level of membership as we look at things. It's a level of membership that you guys will have backdoor access. It's the top tier approach kind of to this channel. It is an exclusive, okay, an exclusive level of membership. It's not the entire channel, guys. Subscribers don't get access to those exclusive, pricing targets. We deploy a certain strategy. We work on pricing targets. It's not financial advice, and we operate kind of in a very structured way, guys, in terms of the kind of the validity or validating kind of the purpose of our being here, which is to make money. That's what we focus on. You see all of these charts, guys, charts backwards and forwards. A lot of information being poured out. This was essentially a move that we, within, what was this? This was a move within 10 or 15 minutes. MTV moved 20%. I got this to the VIPs, literally directly to them in the back rooms, and within 10 or 15 minutes, they got a 20% trade. That's exactly what happened today, okay? I posted that information to our exclusive restricted zone. The VIPs picked up on it, and guys, it's just full of trades. That's what we focus on. It's just trade after trade after trade. So as many as you guys can handle, I'd like to continue to send your direction. And it's if it's indicated, we focus on technical analysis. We also focus on Fibonacci's. Okay, so we're very it's going to be tough to beat us on the to the upside or the downside. We are focused on booking positive trades. If it's a trade for 5%, 10%, 20%, 50%, whatever that is, we're focused on booking it. So we definitely try and maximize our returns, okay? We have a lot of good, successful traders, and some are industry professionals, from investment bankers to exchange employees to, just full-time traders. We have the lot of them as members, and it's that upper tier. Guys, welcome, you VIP members. Today's just entitled Day Trading, because that's what we've been doing. And it's not been anything kind of sporadic, anything jumping around. We're definitely looking at patterns. We're also looking at critical levels of the Fibonacci's. I know a lot of you hit. Today I woke up and, Jason's lit, a great military member. He's a VIP. He was talking to me, and it was a perfect day for me. It was Father's Day. He showed me a picture of his unborn son, and just beautiful, beautiful pictures. The whatever they have, the new photographic technology, just a beautiful son. Just welcome to Jason, and welcome to all of you for Father's Day. Want to definitely express just the kindness from my heart to all of you, because I know it's a very important role, and you guys who are working hard at that are doing a great job. So Jason and I, though, I was at church. I was hanging out for Father's Day. It was a nice day at church with family, etc. And I had a good day. So I appreciate you guys who wished that to me as well. And in terms of the 65th percentile, I was at church, and it looked like Bitcoin moved the other direction. Surprised a lot of people took their shorts, guys, took their options away. We don't focus on options. That's not what we're involved in. We always have coverage on the downside. That's what I hear the VIPs talking about all the time is always maintain those cash reserves. As we look at DOGECOIN, this was exactly I was at church today, just the truth. And I was talking with Jason, just kind of texting back and forth when I had a second. He's like, it's sitting right on the 65th percentile. I was like, I know that. It's really exciting. We were texting back and forth. he entered right here, and he's like, what do you think will occur? And so I'm having a great time as he's showing me pictures of his child, right? His baby that's yet to be born. Just beautiful images. Jason, I appreciate you showing those with me. Looked like he's going to be a real a heck of a man, huh? What a great way to start the day for Father's Day. So congratulations to you guys. This is currently sitting at the 65th percentile. In between, it's kind of Doge is just hanging out in this zone. We focus on Doge because it's a nice, it's a nice way to bring people together. It's been a great, investment instrument. We have streamed through the entirety of the price action of Doge. We have a lot of, just strong believers in Doge, and there's a lot of utility in it. So as we talk about, day trading, it's not anything contrary to the interest of Doge or the community, anything like that. To the contrary, it's very much in line with, I'd say kind of the principles of what Elon Musk has done. He sold at the top of Bitcoin. We called the top of Bitcoin in terms of it being kind of that's the full expression of that top level, the Fibonacci, the 23.6. So we were right on the tail end there. We got a little surprised by Bitcoin today. We did mention it in the video. I mentioned the fact it's hitting right now. It's 786. What will happen to that? We saw a big, let's just finish up on Dogecoin quickly. We're going to see now, kind of like we saw then, what will happen here at the bottom. This is the first time on the lines that Doge has hit this 65th percentile. This is the bottom level of the golden pocket, kind of a key level. It has on the wicks, in terms of these previous events, it has already dropped down into the golden pocket. 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth time that it's dropped down into the golden pocket. So typically it will lose momentum. We'd love to see it kick on up. That would be great. A lot of you have already booked positive trades to the tune of, I think Jason got somewhere, I'm not sure, maxed out around 10%. That's nice while the market was down. It did rebound quite a bit, so that was nice to see as well. We focus on pricing targets here. It's just we're going to book positive trades. We're not fully invested at any point in time. We're not going to ride down. We don't get credit for diamond hands when we lose 60% of the account. We want to redeploy our cash, and we want to enter into positive trades, day trading, right? Essentially we want to get in. When the price goes up, we want to get out, guys. Each person's going to have their own threshold in terms of what that means. When should we get out? That's a question I get all the time. Well, when should I sell? Well, sometimes you don't get too much of a choice. I'll tell you, I sent something tonight in the essentially in the different chats. Some of these things just move so quickly. It's just not easy to determine kind of how quickly is it going to go. We have a few different things that have moved just 10%, 20% up very quickly. Always prepared with a stop loss. Typically, if you're dealing with something really risky, or prepared via the books. What I hear you guys talking about is definitely prepared to double or triple down at the lower levels. So we've had a lot of success, within the last few days. A few trades have gone up for 20%, 50%, et cetera, 70% yesterday. So very, very exciting for you guys to be a part of that. That's not the only thing we want to do. We do like, holding for kind of this run up, like this 10x or the 100x. If we find the right type of a situation, we're definitely focusing on those new coins as well. Some of the coins that you guys are being exposed to with the exchange, et cetera. Some of those new coins, do have potentially some long-term potential. So, we're all researching that. We're looking into some of those new coins that have been brought to the upper, kind of the exclusive VIP members. We've talked about many of them on the stream as well. The levels of investment are always important. It's not just what you've decided to invest in, it's at what price. So that's what's really critical in terms of, our booking a trade, let's say, for 50 to 70%. You may look at the same coin and say, well, it's down. Well, when did you get in and when did you get out? That's really crucial to the equation. So, always definitely, I'd say while you guys are learning that, and while I'm sitting here watching you guys learn, I see a lot of patience. I see a lot of people that are kind of peppering in at the top, not being really heavily involved at the top of any price action. If we were to look at something like FSN, and just really understanding that, like, yes, this is a movement here. Fusion, let's look at Fusion real quickly just to kind of review what it's done. That's like a 77% move in 7 hours or so. That's just something we would take a look at in terms of price action. We'd want to look at, okay, this is just price action. Let's break down the price action just real quickly, just to kind of review what's happened. let's just take a look at Fusion. We'll take a look at the fundamentals as well. And about in the last 4 hours, it's gone up about 85%. This is something we run diagnostics on. This is something we have an approach to. This is not just a shot in the dark. When we see price action like this, 88% to the upside, some of us may already be in Fusion. Okay, some of us may have entered here. Okay, some of us may have entered here, here, or here, but we have a kind of a scheduled approach that we're going to look at something like Fusion. Okay, up 80% in the last number of hours, guys. In the last 4.5 hours, it's up 80%. Now, we have kind of, mechanisms. We have, ways of communicating with each other. That's what we do. That's the exclusive, guys. That is the exclusive kind of VIP access. That is what we focus on in terms of all these charts, in terms of the community. They're constantly talking about ways to achieve positive trades. What's the next, potential 2X? What's the next, this is a chart on, I believe, on Doge. They're constantly they're constantly communicating. We have over 100 VIP members, not just subscribers, but that top level of membership. And I continually try and build that because we had 100 VIP members in the first month, okay? And that's what we're excited about. We have some people that have decided to step up. Shout out to Angel on top. The top right, you'll see Angel is a key supporter. He stepped in with about $1,300 in super chats. Looking forward to see what he wants to do, kind of in terms of will he continue to. I like it because it's a sign that he's doing well, or he's done well, or he's trying to inspire the community. I like that quite a bit. As you guys do well, as we have positive trades. And tonight we'll talk about maybe some approaches that I kind of hear some of you guys talking about, some critical approaches to day trading that I think is really going to be really important, guys, as you look at maybe, day trading. What is it? Kind of what's the philosophy behind it? How can you do it and kind of stay measured? How can you do it without overexposing yourself or it being too risky? How could you approach something like Fusion? If you were to look at Fusion, how could you approach Fusion being up 85% in the last 4 hours? How would you best approach this to try and take advantage of this volatility, right? Nothing's financial advice. It's not financial advice. That's the important thing, is it's not financial advice. So that's as we look at it, that makes it a lot easier for us to discuss it in terms of how would you approach it? How would you make money on it? What's the easiest way to make money on it, right? Essentially we're going to use the same tools that TradingView, okay, or that Gate, or whatever exchange you're on, has already implemented. We're gonna go through our standard strategy in terms of probably doubling, tripling down. I guess that's what I hear the VIPs talking about all the time. How would you take advantage of something that's gone up 85% in the last 4 hours? Well, I guess the VIPs, they're probably going to discuss that in the back rooms, and that's how they got potentially up to like a 70% gain yesterday. Okay, today another, I know MTV was doing very well, very nice trade for some people today. That was about a 30% trade, okay, essentially a 30% potential trade today. Not sure, when people are getting involved, how early. There's just a lot of price action. So as we're looking at Doge, which went up maybe about 10%, we're looking at, constantly, guys, we're constantly surveying chart formations, and that's what we trade. Okay, is that a signal from the market maker to us? Essentially, yes, we recognize a pattern or we don't. If we recognize the pattern, we're ready to deploy. Okay, we're ready to deploy cash, ready to engage in a trade. So it's very important as we look at that. Let's look at T-Fuel as well. T-Fuel is another one. That's been a positive trade for a lot of people in the VIP today. It's just a phenomenal coin to trade. It's been up 13% since our pricing targets. So we focus on pricing targets. The VIP members, I'll calculate those. It's really easy to calculate. It's just basic math. So I'll calculate those pricing targets. I'll get them to the VIP members. It's really exciting. And then next thing I know, they'll say, well, hey, I've booked 10 positive trades. That's so nice. When I hear they've booked 10 trades in a row, or 10 out of 12 or 10 out of 15, they're booking that many positive trades. It's just nice to hear that. Some people booking maybe 8 or 9. Some people booking 2 or 3, just making sure they book that next positive trade. And I want to kind of incorporate that into some ideas that I hear kind of being floated around, it's in terms of what is day trading? What would that be? the best way to kind of go about, making sure that you're not like way, way, way out there, right, in terms of day trading? Because it sounds real serious, right? It sounds like a risky endeavor. Well, I think we should talk about that. Let's talk about that tonight. If you guys would like to touch on that, if you guys would like to spend a little bit of time in that, let's discuss that. I think it's a valid question, right? Because a lot of people, we made a good video this morning. I love the video about the head and shoulders routine. Tons of head and shoulders in here, and some that have faked out, some that haven't. This is on Bitcoin, and as we look at this, the one thing, the people who got really, really hurt in Bitcoin are the guys who keep taking these options out, and it's like, on options, you can lose all your money, unfortunately, and they keep getting sideswiped, on Bitcoin, whereas we may have an opinion. Yeah, it looks like it's going to do that. I got to tell you, it looks like it's going to go down all the way. That's exactly where it's still indicated to go based upon, I'm going to say this pink line that you see, that's indicated to 29,429. It sure does still look like it's headed straight there. This is a perfect kind of, just a huge, beautiful, perfect example of a technically textbook left shoulder, head, right shoulder. It's just, guys, it's textbook. You can't get much more textbook than that. But what happened was a lot of guys on other channels, sit there and they lie to you that they're making all this money, all this other stuff, while they're also many, they lost millions of dollars. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. You're not going to hear people around here, members or subscribers, saying they lost millions of dollars here. That's not going to happen. Okay, if they say that, they're lying, because I'm continually hearing guys, VIPs, talking about always having reserve cash at the lower levels, never being fully exposed in any kind of one situation. And that's what I like to hear from the VIPs. That's very exciting. That's the team kind of mentality. That's exactly what's going on, is heavy cash reserves at the lower levels, right? So as we look at this was kind of a no-brainer for a lot of people in the group, from what I understand as well, and the VIP. Yes, we did make a video this morning about the essentially where this is headed, right? We would expect this to go, straight to this line, right? Well, what happened? Well, it also had hit that 78.6, and I said in the video, we're going to have to see how well this plays out. And guess what, guys? We had people in the trade. We have people in Bitcoin at this level, and what happened? We were all pleasantly surprised. You see the difference? When people on other stations have predicted this and they've entered into an option position, they got wiped out again. Guys, they got wiped out again. All right, they've been wiped out like time after time after time. It just doesn't seem fun. I feel kind of bad for them. I wish the best for them. I hope they're doing very well. To all the other stations, I hope you're doing really great. We're doing great here. We've been booking positive trades all day long, all weekend long, guys. Yesterday, up to a 70% trade. Okay, we had, that was 03. We had just constant trades on T-Fuel, constant trades. Nord traded phenomenally well. FSN was potentially one tonight. MTV, we just had guys, we've literally maybe had up to half a dozen trades, just people practicing, just hammering it out, up to 50% on their money, sometimes on double down amounts, 40 and 50%, in terms of what was possible, what they achieved. I'm just, excited to hear them say, I booked a positive trade. I took profits. That's all I need to hear. Fantastic. It sounds like those pricing targets that I'm calculating, again, it's real easy. I just calculate exactly. I can do multiplication, right? I need to know what's the 50% retracement from this pricing action, and the pricing action is given to me, the low, the high, so I can do the calculations. I can figure out 38.2% of the entirety of this most recent move. I can get a calculator out and do that. That's real easy, right? If those are the standards that the market's kind of telling me, it's definitely not financial advice, right? In terms of the 65th percent retracement of this move, I can get a calculator out. I can do that, or I can just use the tools, right? As long as I know on what time frame to draw it on to where it's accurate, And we definitely were right on this 78.6 today, because I made a video this morning beforehand talking about the fact that we're on the 78.6, and you guys know our station. We're all about these different levels. We're all about different levels and pricing targets, different Fibonacci's. We execute positive trades all the time. I mean, that's the goal in terms of what we do. This is entitled day trading. That's the logo on the front of the video. We love to day trade. People here like to trade. We have full-time traders. We have, like I say, investment bankers. We have literal analysts from exchanges, from crypto exchanges. We have business professionals. We have some people who are getting into, getting out of the corporate world from really high-level positions, and they're starting to train to become full-time traders. That's the environment here. We have everything from blue-collar workers, okay, to military guys, to business owners, to just guys who love the market. It doesn't really matter who you are, what you are. It's just we love the market. We want to beat the market. We're consistently looking for. I don't know how many potential trades I was able to give to, just to highlight, guys. That's what I do is research. I'm a real good researcher. That's kind of what I do. In addition to being like a former analyst on the lead analyst on $1 billion equity fund right out of Duke University, that's just the truth. Don't hate me for it, please. It's just the truth. Don't be mad at me because of my former or current success, please. I would ask you to think a little bit bigger than that in terms of who you are, to not dislike someone because they're telling you they've been very successful. And if you don't like that, I would imagine that maybe you'll find a different crowd, because we have a lot of successful people here. And they're successful, some of them just in the market. Some of them may not have the job they want, but they're driven to the market. They're driven to do well in this market, okay? That's the kind of mentality, that's the kind of attitude that we like. We like a winning attitude. We don't like anyone who resents people for doing well, anything like that. We'll definitely point out someone who's losing. Without a doubt, we'll point out the winners and the losers. We feel that's very important in terms of making sure that people are being kind of, taken care of in the community, because it's just a small world. And as I look at some different things, some different people, I'll just let me go ahead and mute that just a second. As we look at the different individuals, et cetera, in the community, it's just, what it is just the opportunity for us to kind of become more involved. And if people don't like the day trading mentality, that's okay. We have some nice members of the community that are just doing well. So that's the focus right now is people doing well. And, that's in terms of booking positive trades. That's just kind of where we're at. And however I can help facilitate that, that's what we want to do. And any other critique, anything else can just, I'm sure they're all over it right now. They've got their little battalion of people coming in to just thumbs down and everything else. Well, that's okay. I didn't get just wiped out on a 300% trade. Some of the other guys did. I don't have to mention names, but like a 300% options and floating that around and getting wiped out on it, that's okay. I expect those people that I'm kind of calling out on that to not be real happy, so they can send their little rugrats over, and we can just continue to trade. But in terms of the analytics here, it's just I know I have the background for it. I know that the VIP are benefiting from it, and it's without question. That's the good thing. It's just without question. And it's also without question that the majority of the people won't be able to handle the impression that we give off, and that's okay. I'm not worried about that at all. I'm very concerned with the group, with the team. That's my primary concern, is the group, the team, learning fundamentals of technical analysis, making sure it's a very educated viewpoint, maintaining a professional kind of decorum, and kind of protecting the integrity and the cohesion of the group. That's just it. I really want to protect the cohesion of the group. And as we look at, currently right now, this is kind of a critical, we're getting into another kind of critical level here for Bitcoin. We can just kind of point that out. It's a very kind of interesting dynamic that's going on right now. It's kind of retesting or coming back up with a different idea, potentially of a head and shoulders, a different head and shoulders. And that was the one potential bad thing of it going up today, is it could be about to break down again from a head and shoulders, okay? Now, that may be information that's of no consequence or no importance to a lot of people. It technically, for us, is very interesting. We like the fact that it's reforming potentially another kind of potential shoulder. So we definitely want to look at Bitcoin. We want to take note of the chart formation. Okay, we've been talking about I'd say different. We definitely talk about different resources for you guys to definitely learn, and we go over that all the time. Anything that can help you guys book positive trades, that's what we go over. So we're excited about that. In terms of the let's see, in terms of this shoulder, it's kind of a light shoulder right now. Does it change? Does it move over? Do we go to the candles? Do we go to the candlesticks? Does that really adjust things? What do we have in terms of that shoulder formation? The right shoulder formation. What do we have kind of battling against that right now? We have a battle of two differently indicated, I'd say, patterns right now. First of all, we have this left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. Okay, we went to bed with that last night. We've woken up, it had fallen through. Right in line with essentially what I had sent out. So I'm not sure if someone sold then. If so, it was a pretty big sale. In terms of where it's achieved back up to, the conflicting I'd say the conflicting, what would we say, pattern that has formed now is going to be what's trying to pretend to be a bull flag, which looks like right now, since I've started the stream, it looks like it has broken down out of that bull flag, which is not a good sign for the bulls, okay? It looks like it has broken down from that, but it's also, so you'd have I'd say that head and shoulders being fought back up against, or being fought back against by this bull flag, okay? The bull flag is very standard. You guys know what a bull flag is, right? So you guys look at the John J. Murphy Principles of Technical Analysis. That is the book on Wall Street. Most people don't hang out long enough on the channel to even hear that. Believe it or not, that is the book on Wall Street. John J. Murphy, Principles of Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets. That's it. That is the book on Wall Street. So if you guys are looking for the book on Wall Street, what is the inside track? Not just another station, not just another Google document, which you can find something that's disagreeing with something. No, the book on Wall Street, guys, is John J. Murphy's Principles of Technical Analysis. That's it. So when I mention things like that, I see people just leave the room. I'm like, okay, that's, some people don't want to know that. I can't imagine being involved in the market and not wanting to write that down. I mean, me personally, I've been studying that stuff, and it's a lot of fun. It's very, it's I showed it to some person. They said it's like a license to print money. It's like, well, people have made a lot of money using it, and I thought it was funny that they had mentioned that. I wouldn't describe it necessarily as that, but some people just don't want to know what Wall Street, how they function. They don't want to know what goes on inside of a brokerage house. Some people are in the market and they just want the latest hype or the latest, I don't know. They're probably not doing incredibly well, I'd say that. And it's just, maybe that's intimidating. Maybe they don't want to study anymore. I understand that completely. I'm not a big fan of studying either, but if I know the book that Wall Street is using and all the whales essentially have their brokers working with, and I have the inside information, I absolutely want to engage with that. That's absolutely something that piques my interest and that I'm going to focus on, guys. So this bull flag, what's it hitting? Well, it's hitting into the 65th percentile, into the golden pocket, it looks like. So that's kind of a big move. Let's make sure in terms of our indicators, there's kind of some battles going on here with Bitcoin right now. It looks like we have a head and shoulders that's being fought by a bull flag. Okay, the head and shoulders is going to be bearish. Okay, it's going to be a bearish pattern being fought by a bull flag. Okay, that's also being broken out of. That's being assisted on the breakout by the golden pocket. Okay, so that's a lot going on right there. That's quite a bit going on. That's on the 2 hour. Okay, that's on the 2 hour time frame. The different time frames will give you a little bit of a different approach in terms of where you're at or which levels might be being hit right now. So that's a lot going on with Bitcoin right now. How will all of that how will all of that work together? What will occur? What are the probabilities? Well, the probabilities, from what I hear in the VIPs, and there's a lot of professional guys in there. Okay, from what I hear, it's kind of in line with, well, they're prepared for the price to go up, and it's not that, well, people don't know, it's that there's a strategy that's kind of been developed. They're prepared for the price to go up with some level of exposure. They're also prepared to double down at these lower levels. So they're ready to double down their exposure at these lower levels, okay? And I think that's in line with a lot of things that I've heard, like some of the top institutions, like who is it, like BlackRock's competitor? Yeah, BlackRock with like multiple trillions of dollars under management, et cetera. Like, I think that's in line with kind of their strategy. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Some of our VIPs used to work at BlackRock. Well, that's interesting, and I think it's interesting that they also I think they kind of understand that theory. At least they understand it, and I think I understand. Yeah. In fact, I know some of their competitors actually use that theory. Maybe more than them, maybe less than them. I'd have to ask the VIP level, that top echelon tier of kind of members, whether or not I really haven't gotten into that. I haven't really needed to. It seems like the mathematics just kind of work out. I did the math on it. That's all they're talking about is that double and triple down. It's nice. It's nice to hear them talk about that because I know they're never going to be overexposed at any higher price. right? I know that they're never going to be, find themselves down at a lower price and not have cash available to deploy at lower levels. That just ensures, from the math I've done, that ensures that they're never, guys, they're never stuck at a higher price. They're never going to get in a position where they can't recapitalize. And that's just crucial, guys. Their cost basis, they're always going to be able to lower their cost basis at a multiple of their current position. I mean, that sounds really smart to me. That sounds like a strategy I definitely, consider just permanently adopting. That's really phenomenal, particularly amidst a retracement while prices are kind of anticipated to be going down. I mean, that sounds great. Just as things would go down, you would double or triple down to cover your upside exposure. And that's nice because if the trend did reverse, I guess you'd have some exposure, but you'd have more exposure at the lower levels. That's really nice. I really like that plan. That's really nice. I appreciate you VIP members, letting me kind of hang out and kind of hear that from you guys. That's really nice. And this is London with the Crypto Kingdom. So, yeah, we do have, and I welcome you guys into that VIP, the top tier approach and top tier level. Guys, you're getting pricing targets. You're being able to interact with that group. And I bring up those dynamics. I met today with some individuals and just shout out to them. What is up, David and Fred? How are you? Some like real producers, some real video producers. I got to tell you, these guys are good. They're like into podcasts and video productions, everything. Like real professional stuff, like 4K, like really nice stuff. And they reviewed some of the work we've done in the past. They're like, this is right on. This is what people need to hear. Your loyalty. That's what we're building is brand. Yes, we're building loyalty. And I'm like, that is fantastic. Josh is in the house. Jag is in the house. Stock market investing is in the house. Nice to have you. James Irvin, nice to have you. And in terms of the group that we're building, like you understand, like we're building a team. That's just, we built 100 VIPs in 1 month. There may be 4,000 people that don't care for it. There may be 4,000 people that don't want to or know how to, or they just don't really care to profit in the market. Well, guess what? That's 4,000 people that we don't want on our team. That's just it, and if that's the way it is, I got to tell you guys, if we want a winning, if we wanted a winning kind of, say football team, we're going to win the state championship. Okay, well, I got a great idea. Let's just go. Do you think we can find 5,000 people who don't want to win the state championship or don't want to put the hard work in? Or when we say, hey, we're going to have to go to two-a-days. Oh, well, no, yeah, we're going to come up real quickly with I'll just tell you this. In terms of the market doesn't sleep. Right. We do. I always say eat well, sleep well. We go through kind of, a regimen in terms of technical analysis. What does it mean? How can we profit off of it? If there's kind of and if there's any kind of an insider's guide at all in terms of like, what are the resources that they're using in Wall Street? How do those guys trade? What do they know that we don't know? Some of those resources I've been studying since high school. Like some of the key ones I've been studying since high school. I couldn't wait to get out of college. Just my story. I bring it up so you know who I am. Right, I graduated Duke in 3 years, went straight from there, 3-year graduation, to being the lead analyst on a $1 billion equity fund, working right across the table from Harvard Foundation. All of my numbers had to be 100% accurate. So I love doing numbers. I love doing numbers on investments. I've been doing it since I was 21, 22 years old, graduated Duke early, et cetera. Since then, I've studied at Harvard Business School, et cetera, et cetera. You guys, you understand, that's not to intimidate. That's not to brag. That's to let you know I love investing. I've loved it like at that level since high school, right? So, this is not kind of a fanciful idea. Well, what am I going to do this year? Well, crypto's here. I want to make a quick buck. No, I don't want to make a quick buck at all. I want to beat the market continually. That's what I want to do. And I get excited by the notion that I can continually beat the market. I just have fun with it. I love it. So that's just me. And if you guys are kind of the same approach, then you're in the right place. And it's not always like an easy, happy-go-lucky kind of, we don't have Discord and Telegram. We don't do that, guys. We have like enterprise level of security. Not meaning like we're going to, toss you out of it's not like that. It's just like we kind of demand a professional environment. We appreciate people who communicate with each other in a professional way because we have a lot of professionals. We really respect our VIP kind of upper echelon members because it's a different group. It's not this group that's going to come up with lewd or crude ideas or misbehave in the back rooms or try and, slight or scam. It's none of that, guys. No slight scam, nothing, guys. It's a very, very positive group that's focused on positive trades. We focus on booking positive trades. One of the reasons why is because if you guys have heard kind of the theory of like stacking, as you look at someone who wants to leverage their position, a lot of people want to leverage. They want to go 5X, 10X. They're going to get into options. They have to get that big return very quickly. That risk, guys, I'll tell you, you can have a different approach and you can still start stacking. And when I talk about stacking, guys, if you'll just look at the green kind of indicators, if you start off with one of these as your investment, okay, this is what we want to do. You see that just kind of build up? Yeah, you start off with 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000, maybe 500, maybe, whatever you start off with, 25, but whatever it is. This is what we want to do. We literally want to sit there and slowly but surely compound into that. And so that's the idea that I really kind of hear people talking about in the VIP. I really like this idea because you started off with this right here. You start off with this right here, and I'm just talking about one of these. One investment instrument, and then slowly working on your compounded returns in terms of booking positive trades. And all of a sudden, look what happened. All right, now you have two. Then, guys, if you have two, what do you get to do? Well, we just get to put this over here. Let's just put this over here in reserve for a minute, right? Because things can get a little risky sometimes. So what are we going to do? Well, they're going to keep compounding. They're going to keep achieving positive trades, right? They're going to keep compounding into that until, well, hey, look, I know we started with one of these. That's great, but now we got another one. Now we got a second one up here. Fantastic. They've been booking positive trades. Now, what's the next idea? Not options, not anything they're going to lose the entirety of their trade. Always willing, from what I hear, always willing to double or triple down at lower levels, always having reserve cash. Yeah, that's the kind of strategy that I like to hear. Yeah, that's the kind of strategy that seems like it's going to work, right? It's got some long-term potential. They're not going to get washed out, right? These people are not going to get washed out or wrecked in the market. No. Very disciplined traders. Good strategy to exactly what they're trying to achieve, which is positive trades, building up another kind of, I'd say another, compounding into another kind of, exactly, guys, another, just go ahead and stack that over there. Kind of the equivalent of their original principal investment. Beautiful. So as they work their way up this list, guys, you talk about people getting a 10X, a 20X, etc. Well, we had a 3.5X in the first 7 to 10 days. Yeah, very nice. We had a potential trade yesterday of up to 70. I'm going to say potential because it could have maxed out at 70. People could have gotten 50, could have gotten 40 or 30. It's not necessarily my concern that everyone maxed out the trade at 70%. That happened yesterday. That's just, that's no big deal. That was the price action. It was what was indicated. So people took advantage of it to the extent they did. Phenomenal. It at least increased the odds. If it has a 70% upside, it increased the odds of people booking a positive trade, right? So that's very, very important. So in terms of that, what I will say is, booking a positive trade of 20%, how many times do you have to do that before you double your money again? Guys, if you can hit like four trades at 20%, there you go. Boom. Up on top, guys, it's one more stack of your principal investment. Do you guys see how this can work? Now, you can also compound up at 5% and double your money. The trick is to book consistent positive trades until the compound factor multiplies your money. I'm just going to say that's what I hear, and I love that strategy. Why is that? Well, then, whatever you started with, let's say you started with this up here, guys. If you started with just one of these, guys, you started with one, guys, as soon as you can put one to the side, what are you doing? You're playing with house money. You're working with your strategy cash. And that, as I hear you guys talk about that is the way to go. Then you've always got your original investment packed back. That's just phenomenal. So until that first kind of, from what I hear, until that first kind of, investment is copied over and put into a reserve, I really like that, just slowly building into a compound situation and learning to compound your returns until you've achieved another one, guys, until you've achieved the equivalent of your original principal investment. principal investment. So that's very, very nice that I'm starting to kind of hear that from you guys. And that's something I've kind of heard all along, but I'm really starting to hone in because we're getting into day trading. We're getting into, what's the price action today? What's the price action on this specific coin? Is it something that we can get into for, is it, people looking for 30, 40, 50%? Are they peppering in lightly at the top, et cetera, with the ability to kind of, I'd say to double and triple down? What exactly are they doing? The good thing is they've got the facilities to discuss all of this, and there's some really great guys that are involved in all of these charts, et cetera, that are talking all day long in the back rooms. Exclusive VIP kind of restricted access, guys. Getting just great charts. Look at these. These are just targeted areas. Look at these targeted entries. Beautifully well done. All these pink lines here, those are all targeted entries. Like really nice stuff. A lot of strategy I'm seeing like deployed by you guys and just trying to just multiply up these returns. Very, very nice. In addition to like things like, Matic was the first, 7 to 10 days of the VIP. What was nice about that? Well, it was a 3.5x. So people who wanted to trade, to get into it, did they all max it out? Not all of them. No, not at all. Between the retracements, Matic would have been a 7x, at least a 7x. Now, we called the top of it. Did everyone kind of do exactly that? No, some people just told me, well, London, I really want to hold. I'm like, I'm never going to manage someone's account. I'm never going to tell them, well, no, you need to sell. I'm not, that's not my purpose. That's not, it's not financial advice, and I'm just going to tell you that's not my purpose. I'm never going to do that. People in the group are never going to manage your accounts. People want to know are there signals, right? The more you get involved in technical analysis, you're going to understand the idea of a signal is so basic to technical analysis that it literally, if you read a book, the primary book, John J. Murphy, Principle of Technical Analysis, if you read that, which is the go-to book on Wall Street, which everyone should want to know that, guys. Everyone should want to know that. In terms of that, I'm just going to say, the Principles of Technical Analysis, it's full of signals, guys. Now, there's a lot of, cross indications. It's full of cross indications. The market is full of surprises. But from what I see with VIPs, they're ready to mitigate that. They're able to shift around in ways to where they can cover, kind of the variability of it, right? And that's really key, is having that right team, that right group. So congratulations to you guys as I see you kind of deploying things in a certain way to where you can do things. I see Mark Riccozzi right now. I'm starting to like Gate a lot. You betcha. In terms of that, it's just a really phenomenal way to trade right now. Shout out to Belgium. Nice to see you, Marion. Marion, I'd love to see, is there a way you could get in Gate? I'm not sure if they require a VPN or what they require. If it's a security feature, they don't want you to be exposed to security. Maybe check in if you had enhanced security, like a VPN, something like that, if they'd allow you to trade. He's one of our VIP guys, a great scout. He is a market scout like you guys would not believe. Marion's a fantastic guy. He gets a little down when the market's down. I got to say that, Marion. I don't like to see you down when the market's down. You can't get down when it's down. You got to be bulletproof, guys. You got to be bulletproof with the market. It cannot phase you. So as we look at this, let's just focus real quickly on BTC. We went through DOGECOIN at the very beginning. We'll cover that again. If you guys are new to the stream, just hit the like button. Let me know that you haven't been here since the beginning, and I'll know who's shown up or who's been here the whole time. I appreciate that very much. Let me know. It'll act as a counter in terms of who's been here. So as we look at this chart right now, we gave this information last night. We woke up and it had fallen through. I'm like, well, this is essentially what was indicated. It was already indicated. Now it was combated by what we talked about this morning, which was the 78.6 or the golden pocket, right? The 78.6 was indicated. We said, hey, it's already hit this. We're going to see how strong of a level this is. It wasn't a surprise for us, right? It had hit the 78.6. I'm like, well, we'll see how strong of a level this is. People in the group had exposure to this position. We were happy it went up. People are like, oh, you got burned or not. No, it's still a head and shoulders. To the extent that it's going to, guys, that it's going to go up, we have exposure to it. The group that people are trading in. We literally were talking about entering into positions in line with, I'd say, correlated investments, i.e. Doge, et cetera. I was having that discussion in my spare time at church this morning. on the phone with the group. Yeah, we're sitting in a good spot for Doge, for entry, etc. And people just immediately made money within the next hour or so. So the fact that it was definitely going down, absolutely not. I did say in that video, I believe I said in that video, and I'll be talking to members of the VIP about this. All right, that they get the exclusive access. They're the ones that have paid it, and they want it. They want that interaction. So with Jason's lit. He's a great guy. He's a member of the U.S. military. I'm just going to bring him up and say hello to him. We do shout outs. Definitely. Jason has been booking positive trades. Okay, so positive trades. Jason's lit. That's his name. Look at that. That's awesome. Huh? Look at that door in the background. You can go take that door out, brother. I appreciate all the hard work you do on behalf of this country and all the U.S. military, etc. We have military in Germany, military in Korea, military in Texas. We have a very broad reach in terms of this group and the strategy. So I do want to cover tonight, what is the approach that we look at day trading? What does that mean? Isn't that really risky? Isn't that too risky? Well, I think you guys are at the point, from what I hear, you're at the point where you can really start, guys, to deploy your strategy. And for some of you, that's going to be maybe I want to make 5 or 10% on every trade period. Or maybe I only want the trades that look like they're going for 10%. I'm only going to hit golden pockets. You're going to develop that. I'm starting to hear that from you. That's very reinforcing in terms of my position because, I'm kind of like, Marion in Belgium, he may be one of our scouts. He's really good in terms of being being a scout. If you guys just showed up, hit the like button so I know you just showed up and you haven't been here the whole time. I did cover Doge in the beginning, and I'll cover that again. Just let me know that you've shown up and you'd like to see that in terms of a like button. Let's see. That helps me keep track. We're covering, Doge and Bitcoin, also a lot of the other coins. We had multiple trades, guys. Multiple trades. Yesterday we had a trade for 70%. 70%, maxed out at 70%. Today we had multiple trades. I've got my book right here. My book is full of trades, guys. It's just full of trades that we've written down. The VIPs are just doing extremely well. Doge went for about 10% today. It was nice. I was having a discussion this morning, about Doge. O3 went for 70% yesterday, okay? Excuse me. 70% after I gave the pricing targets. So yes, we've covered Doge. There's a lot to talk about though, and a lot to learn in terms of what the VIPs are doing. That's the top level of membership with the backdoor access. They have access to those guys to the pricing targets. That's what they get. That's what they've asked for. So you kind of see this. That's some phenomenal price action there, right? That right there is some really nice price action, right? That's what people would kind of like to be a part of, right? So yeah, we deploy literally deploy. I'm just going to say that we deploy pricing targets on price action like FSN, right? What's FSN? In 9 hours, it's gone up 82%. Less than that, 82%. That's nice. It's nice to have access to that in a group dynamic that's able to take positive control over that. That's it. They're taking control of their trades. They're taking control of their pricing targets. I'm facilitating that through the Twitter, the enterprise level of security. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm making sure that the right kind of people are involved and that it's respectful and that it's a professional environment, right? Another move here for 20% on this specific one. There was a 10-minute trade tonight that literally went up 25% in 10 minutes? For anyone who jumped onto it, I was like, wow. Within 10 minutes, 25%, just bam, bam. Very nicely done, guys. Very impressive to see that. So as we look at, we've been touching on Bitcoin. Let's touch on Doge just because we did start off the session with it. And I know for a matter of fact, we did touch on it this morning, and that was very well done. I do appreciate you guys hitting that like button, letting me know that you did just show up and you haven't been here since the beginning. That helps me know what to cover. Okay, so we're a dedicated group. We're willing to trade. Okay, why do I say that? Because we want to book positive trades. We want to multiply our money. Okay, and that's what I hear from the VIPs, from the top level membership when I'm kind of hanging out with them, etc. If they ask me questions, a lot of it's geared towards multiplying their money. How are they doing that? Well, they're getting in at a specific trade level. This is a targeted entry right here in and around 26 cents. They've had that level for weeks. Believe it or not, they have had that level, that specified level, for weeks. and it hasn't been hit on the line yet. So I had a great discussion this morning. After I put out the video just this morning on Bitcoin in terms of what it was going to do, I had a great discussion with Jason's Lit. Okay, Jason, U.S. military guy in the top tier level membership, very logistical, very strategic, very great guy. It's a pleasure to have him and everybody, all of you guys subscribing, all of you members, anyone who's new. It's a pleasure to have you here this evening and for you guys to be exploring whether or not this group might be right for you. I was just sitting there in church today. I took a minute, and Jason was sending me, a picture of his child. It's like it's Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all of you guys, both to you and your family, if that applies. And what I'll say is, the fact that, this move, I was sitting there talking with Jason. I just put a, kind of a real bearish matter of fact, but real technically indicated, I'd say video about Bitcoin out. And then I'm sitting there and I said, I would talk definitely to the VIPs, and I would go ahead and do that and not necessarily explain everything, right, to the entire masses. So Jason was there. He wanted to talk, and he's like, London, I got to tell you, this is sitting right on the 65th percentile here. Doge. I said, sure is. Sure is, Jason. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for sending me pictures again of your son, like your unborn son, like beautiful, like beautiful imagery, like beautiful imagery. I've never seen photos just that beautiful, like just amazing. I'll never forget those pictures, Jason. Thank you very much. Looks like he's going to be a tough little kid like you, huh? We'll see what happens. In terms of that. But yeah, as you guys look at this pricing target, we had this pricing target, just let's zoom in. Did it really hit our pricing target? Guys, you tell me whether or not it hit our pricing target. Look at this. That's our pricing target. We've had that for weeks. You guys are wondering about how in the world you can make money with pricing targets? Are you kidding me? Look at this, guys. This is precision. Look at this right in here. That is huge. The differential in here is 2580, 2585. That's 5/100ths of a cent, right? So that's 5/100ths of a cent. That this would be that this move would be right here, guys. That's 5/100ths of a cent. I can literally draw this within 5/100ths of a cent that the price target was literally on. So in terms of precision, absolutely precise. Okay, that's what Jason entered into today. Then look at the price action he had to work with. Very nice. You wonder how people make money in a down market? It's going down. It's waiting. Is everyone holding? Well, the team that I know is trading. Okay, and not in a way that's detrimental at all. Not in a hasteful fashion, or not taking account for what they're doing. Not in a haphazard kind of boiler room way. No, in a way that definitely this figure has been set there for weeks. This order has been sitting here for days. Literally days. Jason had this, a member of the VIP, that top level membership. He had this for days, waiting at this level through a limit order. If you don't know how to trade, you can learn. I'm going to tell you that because we have a lot of people that are learning. Jason's learned. I don't know how many trades he's booked in a row right now, but he's been around for probably, I think, about a month in the VIP. He's cooking it, guys. He's killing it. He knows exactly how to deploy these pricing targets now. In a month, he's figured that out. And guys, he got up to a 10% move today. Now, maybe he booked a 5% trade. We started having that discussion, and I was like, Jason, this is going to be your deal today. It's sitting on a real key feature and level. I hear you guys talking about always being able to deploy at lower levels. So I kind of am the resounding board in terms of kind of where they're at, and I'm able to talk to them. I also have a lot of experience in the financial field, and it's not it's not what would you say? It's no joke, guys. I've worked with some really heavy hitters. It's just the truth. A lot of you guys are really heavy hitters. I really respect that about you. I want you to know that. When I talk about the people I've worked with in the past, I want you to definitely understand that I understand a lot of you are really heavy hitters. A lot of you guys in the VIP. I'm not slighting you at all to say I worked on $1 billion equity fund as a lead analyst after Duke in 3 years. Guys, I know you all have your own story. I will always count back and refer to this group as a hugely esteemed group. I'll say that in the context of me right now and going forward. Some of you may say, well, London's always trying to sell the VIP. No, guys. The same way I talk about you now, I'll talk about you in the future. which is the same way I talk about some of my experiences with, like, working for a tycoon and, being the lead analyst on the $1 billion equity fund. Okay, I did all the investment package, guys, on a $1 billion equity fund when I was 21 or 22. I'll talk about that because it's the truth. I'm going to talk about the investment team right here and how great they are, in terms of, like, all the analysts we have, former analysts, exchange employees, everybody else, like business owners, full-time traders, you guys, military guys and gals. You're just the moms, the work hard moms who just won't quit and just, I don't anyone call you a mom. I don't know. Like, not a soccer mom. It's just some really nice, I just say nicely trained and focused traders. Like, really impressive stuff, guys. So when I talk about my experiences, always take that just with, with the understanding I am just giving you guys the credit I'll always give you. Okay, period. So you're not going to be able to get away from that. That's not optional. It's just going to happen. It's a function of who you guys are. It's a function of me with who I've worked with in the past. It's not me just blabbermouthing. I'm giving you guys credit for who you are in the market right now, in the business world right now. When I bring up, like, Angel on the top right there, Angel's a big cat. All right, he has done really well in crypto. Really well in crypto. He's, a sponsorship, $1,300 in the last week. Guys, he's done really well in crypto. I'm going to say that one more time, and that's it. That's it, okay? You guys may not know exactly how well he's done. I don't sit here and talk about how well he's done. Some of you have done really well in business. I don't sit here and talk about how well you've done. I mentioned some names: JP Morgan, BlackRock, major crypto exchanges, major analysts, etc., business owners. I leave it there out of respect to who you guys are. So yeah, welcome to you guys who are here for the first time, and you're with a very solid group, and it's not exclusive to where we exclude people. That's not the idea. We just want to make sure that the people who are here are focused on beating the market in a professional way. We're not a Discord or a Telegram. That's not what we are. We are a professional group. A lot of people get a different mentality when they get into, I'd say, trying to multiply their money. Guys, there's a way to do it, and I tell you, we've done it, okay? We've had that opportunity in front of our members, and it's just, it's been without question something very exciting. The people who are around with Matic, or who are around during this growth phase, the 10X with DOGECOIN, okay, around with Harmony One was a 20x. Dogecoin right here was it was a 100x on the year, or 10x here. A lot of people, guys, you've done extraordinarily well. So that's nice. Some people have done extraordinarily well with larger amounts of money. Okay, they've been able to hit that button, right? I talk with and this is just a lesson. While the pricing action is developing, it looks like Doge is kind of falling out of this, I'd say this move to the upside from the 65th percentile, okay? Will it hit again? Will it move down? People in the group, from what I understand, have already executed a positive trade here, okay? They've already executed this trade. They've gotten in, they've literally booked a trade. So that's the idea. Can you get 5%? Can you get 10%? Can you get 50 or 30? Can you get 70? Like some people, could have less yesterday. Okay, I know a lot of people that did well on the 03 trade yesterday. Okay, I brought that to them beforehand. Okay, I brought that to them. I'm bringing all these colors right here. These are all pricing targets. All of them are pricing targets, moves, etc. So people can get involved. I'm doing the calculations. They're doing the work, right? I'm being the scout, kind of like, just finding, maybe new coins. Right? That information on, like, brand new coins that are listed. Yeah, I'm the good scout like that. I'm the good research guy, right? That's and I'm also pretty good at calculations. Like they've hired me to do that, across the table from Harvard Foundation, okay, on a $1 billion deal. So I'm good at calculations. I'm good at kind of being the scout, and hard work as well, right? I'm really good at hard work. No one's going to outwork me. They're just not. No one's going to outwork me. So you guys have found the right group in terms of inspiration. Doesn't need to be intimidating. Doesn't need to be too, I'd say, too intense. But, the market is not going to be nice to you. I'm just going to tell you that if you want it to be nice to you and you want to just curl up and snuggle up with the market, I'll tell you guys, it'll eat your lunch. You guys know that. I'm talking to the right group. You guys, I don't need to really to get too involved with something like that. What we would like to see ideally is the dream of the dream is for this on Doge to complete something in line with the top of this expression on the top end here. We have this trend line that hasn't been utilized. I'm just going to say this as we talk about something positive, because some people are like, well, I hold Doge. Yeah, a lot of us do. A lot of us do, but not at a level that's going to really bother us. If it goes down, we'll be able to recapitalize at a lower level. We've already booked positive trades here at this 65th percentile. This is the golden pocket. It's hit 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth time it's hit the golden pocket. At some point, that momentum becomes a little bit heavy. It's kind of like bouncing a basketball. This is just technical analysis. It's not an opinion. It's just it is what we essentially what we've learned from the books like John J. Murphy, okay? Principles of Technical Analysis, the guide, the book on Wall Street, okay? I can, if you needed me to, I could introduce you to some of the present or former top traders on Wall Street. I'm talking about the guys who literally clean up. I'm talking about 60 months of positive, of 60 months, they've had 2 months of negative trades. Okay, 58 positive months out of 60 months on Wall Street. Okay, so when I seem a little bit, it's not really happy-go-lucky, it's not this or that. Well, I mean, who knows other than me, in terms of like grading me or this and that? Well, who else can introduce me to anyone on the street who's had 58 out of 60 positive trades or positive trades? Good, positive months. I don't know anyone who can introduce me to another person who out of 60 months had 58 positive months. I don't know anyone who's been able to match that. I know those guys. I know that guy, okay? I had that guy with me for a second doing some different stuff on kind of a quote-unquote private equity fund. I'm going to say private equity, private hedge, however you want to classify. Not internationalized, not SEC registered. No, me and him. Here's, let's hedge, let's work, let's trade. You come to me, here's cash, let's work, let's do. You want to get paid, this how, okay? Yeah, me working with like the top guy, period, on Wall Street. Okay, so I have that in my background. I bring that up so you guys know who I am, not to brag, just to say, like, I'm just the kind of guy, you put a market in front of me, I'm gonna want to take it down. You put I'm gonna want to conquer it. You put a goal in front of me, I'm gonna want to go get it. I'm going to want to achieve it. You put anything that's relating to success that just requires hard work is done. It is done. That's the mentality I have. That's the way I approach the market. No one's going to beat me in the market. That's the approach I have. I don't want anyone to ever beat my team, ever. We're winners. That's why we're involved in the market. We always use, from what I see, I always see strategy being used. Okay, I always see like deployment of not a hope or a dream, but like realistic, principles that it must come from a lot of them being professionals, guys, from them being, professionals with, let's say BlackRock. Okay, so formerly with this, that, we have members formerly with BlackRock. I'm going to bring that up because that information was hidden from me for a minute, right? So I get to bring that up. They're like, I know, but I understand why they didn't tell me. Like, I used to be with BlackRock. I understand that BlackRock has what, 5 to 10 trillion. And I don't want to leverage that figure. It's probably 15 to 20 trillion, really, if you really leveraged out what they're capable of doing. So, yeah, they have trillions under management. So to have an analyst from BlackRock is a big deal. It's a very small world is all I'm going to say in terms of that. Someone says maybe Warren Buffett. Maybe Warren Buffett. I like that. The difference with Warren Buffett, was he up during the crashes? Because that's difficult, huh? During 2008, as we talk about the stock market, et cetera, someone brings up, maybe Warren Buffett was up 58 out of 60 months. Maybe. What was difficult, like 2008 to 2009? Ooh, that was difficult, huh? I called that crash 4 days before it went down in 2008. It went down 777 points, period. I called it 4 days beforehand. So who can argue with Warren Buffett? I mean, Warren Buffett is he is the Berkshire Hathaway man, right? He is the guy who came up with the idea of like a 10-bagger. Okay, cool. A 10-bagger. What's that? Well, that's when you get 10 times your money. And everybody's like 10x, 20x, 100x. Yeah, he's got some great principles that we still adhere to. We like Warren Buffett, right? We like Elon Musk. Things have kind of changed around, but you're not going to beat Berkshire Hathaway. Whether or not you want I think he has a jet or two that you can buy if you'd like to. I think they have a lot of different, and I'm not just saying that that's a part of their business. What would you say, profile that I enjoy. Period. Yeah, they have a nice jet division at Berkshire Hathaway, private aircraft. It's very nice. You guys can look into that. I encourage you to at the appropriate time. It's a nice deal. So, as we look at, it's nice to be in a Jets. If you guys like sports cars, some of you guys like Jets. As we look at this, I'd like to turn this into an expanding wedge on Doge, just so we think outside the box. I'm always trying to think, while we're kind of waiting, or while trades are getting executed, etc. We may be running into something kind of interesting. I'm going to say that right here. People are talking about divergence, et cetera. Let's go ahead and look as to whether or not we've broken out of this. We definitely have broken out of this wedge. It looks like we may try and retest it. I'll probably draw these lines a little bit roughly. I never try and be out of sorts with technicals. Sometimes if I'm in a rush, I'll really they'll be a little out of sorts. I'll just say that. But the fact that they always confuse, there's some sort of better way we can recreate trading view. I just know that there is, as a matter of fact, because when you change time frames, you change essentially the structure of all of your drawings. You change. Everything just changes. So there are some other programs that we use, guys, and it's just information that we give to our VIPs, guys. Some of the exchange information, some of the new coins, etc. That's why you want to be a VIP member. I just tell you that. And you guys, I'm reinforcing that to you VIPs already, that the reason we're bringing up some of these new coins is because research has been done on the back end of them already, and we haven't bored you with that. But we have said, hey, it's gone up, 250% in the last 4 days. There's enough volatility to go ahead and, it's indicated. That's what I hear from you guys. That's indicated in terms of price action. You like that. You're ready to double and triple down at the different levels of the pricing targets on a coin that's got really phenomenal price action, right? Yeah. And you're always careful, right? You guys are always careful in terms of always, never being overexposed, right? Never being overexposed. You look at something like this, it's like, well, it's a heck of a hit right here, but look at the entirety of it, right? The FSN, or why don't we look at the, let's look at something else, right? That's been up 100%. Like, why is that interesting? Well, it's been up 100%, right? That's a big move. It might have a nice retracement, right? No, but no one wants to be involved at a low price like that. Well, I don't know, huh? Look at the way this thing's behaved, right? That it's done this a few times already, hasn't it? Yeah, it's kind of similar to some other things that have had some great volatility. So, I think the guys, I think they, they've been analysts, they've been around in business. I'm pretty sure that they've got kind of a heavy enough hand that they can understand, what volatility is and how that figures into essentially the micro and the macro, right? The micro, just this pricing event, and the macro, right? The entirety of the pricing event. So I'm pretty sure that they can understand if they're up 20, 30, 40% on a trade, or 50, 60, 70% on a trade, maybe it's a good idea to take profits. Maybe a lot of people wouldn't understand that, but I'm almost positive that the VIPs definitely understand that. In fact, they focus on that, right? They focus on taking profits. Why is that? Why do we always talk about the equation? What's necessary for profit? Selling. When? At a high price. After what? After you've already bought it at a lower price. Real easy. We can do that every day. That is the goal. Every single day, we want to sell something higher potentially than what we bought. I don't even care if it's on a light position. Tell you the truth, I just like that kind of rationale of the group, like a day trader was. Well, if we could just say once a day, if I can, I don't even care if I put a cup of coffee on it. Honestly, I don't care. If I put a cup of coffee on something, I say I'm going to execute a positive trade today. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to pepper in real lightly. That's an example for me. Okay, I'm going to put a cup of coffee on it. And I want to see this hit this target, and I want wherever that target may be, and I want to execute a positive trade. I want to book a positive trade every day, period. If I don't have a trade, if no one gives me a trade, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to go find a trade. I'm going to scroll through, and me personally, guys, on a Saturday, I'll scroll through 200, 300, not ones that people are giving me. No, not always. Hey, why don't you check this out and check that out? No, I'm going to deal with the ones the market maker is trying to sell you. Okay, not the one you picked up on. No, I'm gonna pick up on all of the ones that the market maker's trying to sell you. Okay, that's my goal on a weekend. We did that extremely well, extremely well. Okay, I did not stream for the entirety of it. I just didn't do that. It wasn't indicated. You guys didn't really let me know that that was important to you, so I didn't do it. But you guys know I did it, right? Because I brought you 03 before it went up 70% yesterday. You'd be like, well, it went back down. Like, it did. Why did it go back down? Oh, people took profit at the 70%. Oh, yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah, that was like when I sent a tweet out, right? Strange coincidence. I said, why didn't it, seems like all the price action's kind of done for the morning, huh? Yeah, it seems like the price action's done for the morning. I think it may be a good idea. Why don't everybody go relax and have a waffle? Do something fun. That was yesterday. And sure enough, I said that. And then what happened? Well, I had said that about, something, a price action that had gone up like 50, 70%. I don't remember exactly. I know it maxed out at 70. But it's like maybe it's time to go eat some lunch or brunch or something like that. Just maybe we all go relax. It seems like the price action's done. And then sure enough, the price just, went down. And what did it go down into, guys? It looks like people cut it loose for profit. Then it went down into Fibonacci's. Then it went down into additional pricing targets. You love the price going down. It's coming down into your zone. Guys, you have to be able to buy it at a lower price. Why would you complain about the price going down? It's coming down so that you can buy it, so that the market maker can at least show a positive price, raise the price so that you can deliver it to someone else who wants to get involved at that level. It's a zero-sum game. All right, you're going to get involved at a lower level. Market maker, essentially, if you understand the game, the market maker is going to take you from, say, a pre-established level. Let's say on Dogecoin, 13, or this is still Bitcoin, 13,000. I thought maybe 13 cents. I need to look at the screen. 13,881. Right. If that's a pre-designated level, I'd almost guarantee that the market maker is aware of that one. Why? Because his computers are aware of that one. Okay, the Fibonacci's are kind of built into it. If that's our kind of go-to figure there, definitely, guys, the market maker knows about that level. It's built into his computers. The algorithms understand it. Technical analysis is built into all of the equation, to the entirety of the market. Read your books, study it up. Don't look at Google. Don't some people can talk so fast about 5,000 different coins and say nothing. I still see the back doors of their Discord or their Telegram, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so appreciative of the group here. I really am appreciative of the group, and I want to let you guys know that. Okay, all of you who are here that are VIPs, I thank you guys so much. You are so professional. You just are. And the ones who are thinking about joining, it's just night and day different. As I see other people who have 2,000 and 3,000, hey, take it. I don't want a football team with 3,000 people on it to go win state champs. Not at all. I don't even, while we're practicing, while we're getting stuff together, kind of an isolated, nice, group, etc. I don't even want that many people in terms of just on standby watching right now. This is practice. Like this is where we're cutting our teeth on good trades. So, getting involved at levels of support, that is kind of like, I think some of the guys at VIP, they kind of wrote the book on it. Right? That's it. Literally, it's like they're writing the book every day on it, okay? Whether or not it's Bitcoin, I know people, entered into that 78.6 today. We made that video, and I just love it because I did say I'm going to go ahead and talk with the VIPs kind of after it, and sure enough, I did. It was a nice talk, right? So the question is Bitcoin in the process, and what did I talk about? In spite of that video, talked about, well, we're getting into Dogecoin. We're hit because, guys, it was just indicated. It was sitting right at its 65th percentile. It's like me saying, "Hey, you want a couple $1,000s? No, don't worry about it, London. I don't need a couple $1,000s. You sure? You sure you don't want a couple $1,000s? I can just give you a couple $1,000s right now. Oh no. I don't like money. I don't want any money, guys. Just understand if something's indicated right on a pricing target. I mean, it's like it's right on the pricing target. I know I just made a video about Bitcoin going down, but it's right on a pricing target. It just is, right? We've had that pricing target for months, right, on Dogecoin, right? So same thing, same issue with Bitcoin today. It was literally sitting, I'm just going to say it's just sitting on its 78.6, its golden pocket, etc. It's like it's not a big deal. It's like it's at a pricing target. It's going to react Essentially, it's going to have some positive momentum. We'll see how strong it is, quote unquote. That means there's some trade there, right? There's some trade. It wound up doing pretty well on Bitcoin. It was a nice little trade, nice little run up, right? Now it looks like it's pouring down out of a bull flag. Not necessarily positive, right? Maybe to be expected. We can talk around it 15 ways from Sunday. It hasn't broken up out of that bull flag. Would have been nice to see that. Now, Bitcoin's been flipping everybody out, been faking everybody out. Me, I sit back. If our opinion doesn't work for the masses, I'm not selling anybody options. You guys know that. Not at all. Hey, Lars, nice to see you. You guys smash that like button if you haven't been here from the beginning. I'll go over some of the financial stuff we went through for DOGECOIN, et cetera, and some other alts. Some great trades we've had, Lars. Lars 03, Lars MTV, 70%, 40%, 30%, or 20%. I don't know what it is. All I know, if you can get 4 20% trades, right? Yeah, I mean 4 20% trades, you're going to do it 2x. You're going to multiply your money by 2. So we're watching. Right now Bitcoin is dropping out. The one thing we know is Bitcoin does not like to be managed on options. You can have a wrong opinion, no problem. If you're directing people towards options, I'll tell you, some of them work out. We have a big shout out to Matthew. I think the last I heard from Matthew, he had done a really nice option on Bitcoin. He's a VIP member, just a stud. What's up, Matthew? I haven't seen you in a minute. Want to shout out to you because I'm sure you're out there doing something cool. Let's focus on Matthew. What's up, brother? How's the kiddo? Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Matthew. Matthew's real good at options. He's a member of VIP, etc. So, shout out to you and all of you. Happy Father's Day. And Lars, we love you. You're a great addition, and it's not Mother's Day or anything. So happy. Every day is a happy Lars Day. So we love Lars. She's a great trader. She really knows what she's doing in the market. In terms of Matthew, also I bring him up because he's a really fantastic options trader, and I will bring that up. I don't focus on him enough, but yeah, just absolutely happy Father's Day and congratulations on your success in options on BTC. He kills it better than the other groups, better than the whatever other kind of groups are just losing right and left. It's just this just ate people up, this move today. Now, who was ready for it, guys? We were ready for it. We talked about this morning, like, yes, there's a negatively expressed price indication from the head and shoulders from Bitcoin. Absolutely. It's still negatively kind of implicated, but the difference is we're not taking options out on it. Instead, we're the group that's like, literally saying in the video, go review it. It's like, well, we're at a key level of support, though. We are at a Fibonacci. So we will see how strong this move is. Oh, move what? Move to the upside. That's it. Very simple, right? Very excited it went up. We have exposure. I have exposure. You guys, a lot of guys in the group hit this pricing level. So we're not getting washed out like everyone got washed out, guys. I couldn't believe it, guys. They had this upward wedge, and this was the deal that everyone had done, just so you know the difference, guys, in between kind of where we're at, where they're at, etc. They're reinforcing people doing options. Now they're saying only if. Now it is only if you're an experienced trader. Oh, wow. Really? Only if you're an experienced trader now after you've lost like everyone's money in the market? Like, is that what you're up to now? I mean, good gosh. You guys are so much more sophisticated than that. I love it. I really love it. And I really thank you guys for being a part of this team. It's just really, really nice. If you're not a part of the team, join. You guys can definitely join. It's what, $99 a month? That's like nothing, guys. Some people making, much more than that. Booking positive trades, people learning how to trade. That is priceless. I mean, I love that. Just watching people, say, hey, London. My name's London. I'm London with the Crypto Kingdom. Crypto with a K. So what I'll say is, the day trading factor here is people are booking positive trades. We've had so many positive trades. Like it's not too much, but at some point it's like, I've given so many details on new coins over the last over this weekend. There's probably been, what would you guys say? 5, 6, 7 positive trades, potential. Like, I know actuals. Lars would be great to talk to. She's engaging, kind of peppering in at the top from what I hear, kind of just, lightly dabbling at the top if something's high and then catching it on a retracement. Waiting for that positive volatility, that move to the upside. Yeah, it's beautiful, huh? What a strategy. I love hearing that strategy. And always having reserve cash so you don't get washed out of the market. Like, that just tells me that the group really loves trading. Like that, I just know they do because they're planning for the long term, and it's just exciting. Like that's really exciting. I mean, in terms of that, and it seems like kind of where are the technicals? Why aren't we talking the technicals, guys? We've been handling the technicals for months. I'm talking months, really off the record for years. So we're looking at the technicals. We know the technicals. We're not sitting here explaining all the technicals to you necessarily. Not that you shouldn't require that or you shouldn't want that with what you're doing if you're learning. I respect that very much. It's just understand our goal is to kind of reinforce the team, to reinforce the essentials, right? And the team watches, they watch the tapes, okay? They understand our strategy. We're very, and there are a few tapes that when people get involved, we'll say, hey, here's a tape. Hey, here's a different exchange for you to work on. Hey, here's a different, application for you to use. Hey, here's a different book and resource that Wall Street uses, right? Different things like that people say, yeah, okay, this is a big deal. Like, we had someone join from Korea yesterday. He's a U.S. military from Korea. Shout out to Richard. What's up, brother? And that logistical kind of strategic mind really goes well. A lot of people in the military wind up going into finance. I don't know if you guys know that. But is it Quantico? I think Quantico, or the FBI headquarters, HQ Quantico Marine Base. I know they have a big outfit there. They have a big, finance, Deloitte & Touche. That's right. Deloitte & Touche is real big on hiring like Marines and different people like that. So yeah, it's a structured mindset. It's a disciplined approach, and it's something that it fits in real well with the whole, the paradigm of not just to spout off FBI, but that's just the truth. I just happen to know that. It's also a Deloitte & Touche cafe in downtown Moscow, I believe. That's interesting, okay? I think Russia has a bad rep, bad rap. Excuse me, bad rap. Definitely bad rap. I don't know. It seems like we do nuclear weapons deals. I read about some stuff in like the Wall Street Journal sometimes. It sounds interesting. I don't know. So that's really not here nor there, and that's not technical. We can talk about the facts which we have discussed. If you're new to the stream this evening, go ahead and hit the like button so I know you've just shown up and you haven't been here, and I can cover the financials, okay, again, that I've covered in the very beginning, because I don't want to just repeat this information for the people who've been here. We like to talk about things. We like to discuss things. I like to read the chat, etc. But, yeah, we did have a hit at the 65th percentile. Very nicely done, right? The 65th to potentially the 78th percentile. It's going to depend upon whether or not you're on the dollar, the euro, whether or not you're on the daily, the hourly, whether or not you're on the 30-minute, the 5-minute. Guys, all these numbers can definitely adjust, okay? So always be careful what you're drawing your Fibonacci's on, okay? Just be careful what you're drawing your Fibonacci's on. The different time frame will adjust which figures you're coming up with. That's just really important that you guys know that. On the daily, it looks like we have now dropped out of, on the daily, we've dropped out of the most recent golden pocket. We have broken through that. I'd say that's an important kind of move on the daily. Now, the thing about the daily is it can kind of reverse and change quite a bit. If you guys understand or not, I can go through something quickly in terms of how are the time frames put together. You'll definitely learn something here, okay? Typically, when you see a line, okay, like on the daily, okay, as opposed to let's say the hourly. Look at the hourly. Okay, you might want to know, well, how is the daily even formed? What is it exactly? Okay, when you see, and the best way I can do this, I can bring up some volume indicators, etc. When you see some additional movement here that's indicative of a kind of a high a high concentration of price, I won't necessarily say volume. Okay, you could get to a volume indicator and talk about volume. I'm not worried necessarily about volume. I'm worried about the concentration of pricing action at that level. Okay, the heavier the concentration pricing at that specified level, the higher likelihood there is that you will achieve a mark there on your daily. So this represents more concentrated pricing action along this specific line when zoomed out on the daily. That's why you get a little bit of a differential, guys. You get a little bit of a different chart. It lets you know where the most concentrated price action is, which is why typically it's more dependable. That's why I scroll back out to the daily to look at things on the line chart, and it tells a completely different story. I don't mind, because people get caught up in the details of, well, it moved here and there and we're taking a short position or this. No, it's like, understand that the daily, when you zoom out, it's going to look at this concentration of price action, and it's going to find one little spot there. This or one little aberrant move here or there. It may not even be represented on the daily. Okay? Understand that it's kind of the consolidated approach to where you've been. And it only carries it carries or gives greater weight to the heavier amounts of the concentration, okay, of the price action. So that's important for us to understand that. I had drawn these here just because, guys, they had traded an option on that. I felt so bad for people when they got just hammered by this. Now on the daily, everything looks just normal. They would have done great on their options, except I know the way options are structured and built, and they just got completely washed out, the people who took the options on that, unless they sold out. I think I didn't hear anyone, with a video release or anything else, it's time to take profits. I didn't hear that. So this move to the upside just washed people out really heavily. And that's the problem with, let's understand, the problem with options and people trading right now is they're not taking into account the standardized levels of support on the Fibonacci's. They're not doing that in their options. They're just saying it broke out of a pattern. Can you imagine how absurd this is? Please pay attention. As you guys look at your strategy, what I'm hearing is good strategy from VIPs that think about things like this, guys, okay? They think about, you have people entering into options based upon, and this speaks volumes, guys. This speaks volumes. Think about this. Based upon the breakout of a technical pattern. This shows you how much they care, and they don't. Listen to this. This is amazing, guys. They're going to trade options on the breakout of a pattern, all right? On the breakout of a pattern. And what is that? What are they going to do? They are going, guys, to forget and ignore the entirety of all of the Fibonacci levels of support where they're going to get positive action below it. Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. So we have a very special announcement in the form of Lars. Lars, you are an absolute angel. I want to thank you so much. Lars just said, what did she say here? What did she say? Thank you for all the time and dedication that you put in each and every day in London. $99 membership paid for itself day one. First trade, VIP has completely changed the way I trade. Lars, you are wonderful. We love you. You are such a great member of the VIP. Just shout out to you. Thank you so much for your support in doing that. That just speaks volumes, and just thank you. It's so nice. I mean, I can't thank Lars enough. Lars is one of the greatest, most dedicated individual traders I have ever met in my life. I have met a lot of traders, guys. I have friends that are investment bankers from Wall Street to Tokyo, from literally all across the planet, guys. Lars has a special, as you guys just see her and you communicate with her in the chats, understand she is a very specially, geared individual. She has a great mind, and she's able to trade. We love having you here, Lars. We really do, from the bottom of my heart, and I hope you and your family had a great Father's Day, whatever that meant to you and your family. Just that means a lot that you would do that, Lars. Thank you so much for the super chat and just expressing that for the community. I want you guys to definitely embrace that on behalf of Lars. That's really, really important. That's really nice. And you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. And I want to bring you guys the appropriate opportunities when everyone's ready. Like we've just entered into a new exchange. There's a lot of price action. You have to understand there's a lot of exciting stuff we can do. It's coming. There's a lot of great things on the way. We're a month and a half old with the VIP group. So some things are a little bit out there right now. So the fact that we're getting into an exchange which has price action of 70% yesterday, or the price action of 50% yesterday, since I brought it to someone, 50%. Hey, I brought it to you. Hey, 70%. Just that research dynamic is I'm on the cusp of, hey, these are new coins, right? These are brand new coins. You guys have access to them. We're going to keep having access to those. That's a good thing. So that's going to be a great thing. You guys will keep having that access, Lars and VIP, you top shelf members, right? You guys who have joined. And, Lars has been around since kind of the beginning. She's been great. And I there's barely a day, I'd say, if I'm not plugged in fully, there might be a day where I'm just not really blown away by how great of a team member Lars is. But that would be a day when I would probably, I have to say, Lars, when I wouldn't really be showing up the right way. And I don't remember a day when I haven't really shown up the right way since we started this whole deal. So, no, I would say there's not a day that you haven't really shown up. I can't really recall that because, I try and really show up too. You just celebrated my dad and brother this evening. Phenomenal dads. That's so great. That is so great. And you've helped me have a happy Father's Day just with supporting the community. That's so great. Lars is awesome. You guys need to get to know Lars. I know you want to focus on technicals. Guys, we focus on technicals all day long. You need to know this. Like Matthew's in the back with Lars and company. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers back there. There's like, I know, but we tuned in for the stream. I know, but like Jason, Jason's lit. Like we've been talking technicals since like church this morning. Like Andrew, it's like we've been talking charts all day long. What's up, Andrew? Happy Father's Day. And we'll do that on behalf of Lars as well. Jason, Lars wishes you a happy Father's Day. What do we have? Just we've been dealing with charts all day long. It's like literally for probably the last 8 to 10 hours, everybody's been real heavy on charts. Like, so we stream and it's kind of like, well, people just want to see the charts. I'm like, oh my gosh, you just want to see the charts. Like we've been doing that for the last, 18 hours straight. Like, how's it going? Everyone's like, at some point it's like, okay, I get it. Your group we're constantly on the march in terms of like backdoor access. We are just full of charts, guys. We're just full of technicals. So yes, we like to review them here. This is kind of a get-together time for everybody so that we can, enjoy, supporting each other, supporting the community, supporting and kind of reaching out to additional people, and just kind of enjoying the dynamic of the live stream. I know you guys have busy days. A lot of you are what are you? A lot of you are definitely involved in trading, but you got families or jobs or different things. So this is just kind of a diversion during the day, and we also get to tell other people about it. And there are people who constantly throughout the day are contacting me saying, what is it really about? What is, is it something I have to commit to for a year? I get a lot of different questions. And, some women do ask like, well, is it, they want to know kind of how the environment is. And I'm always able to tell them, Lars, about you and just about the rest of the group in terms of we have some great women that are really, really strong, I'd say, traders. So let's look at let's bring up Lars real quickly. Just do a shout out. She just did a great look at Lars jogging along. I love that picture. You are just unstoppable, period, in life. You are unstoppable. I wanted to bring up, if I could, you guys have to see this picture. I want to show them the picture from your vacation. You were so nice to send that picture to me, and I want to see if I can just bring that up real quickly. You guys look at this picture from where she went this weekend. This is just phenomenal. Look at that. You see that? Literally on the backdrop of, just for a moment to enjoy it. I mean, we'll talk about the technicals in 2 seconds, but she just did a $99 shout out. There's a reason, because she's doing really well. She paid for VIP like first day, no problem, like bam, first trade. So, but look at this. Doesn't it just fit within? If you like start to look at the top of the screen, like all the galactical stuff and the moon and the worlds on the right and left side, you see all the visuals. You see, as you take a step back, you see the planets like rotating on the side. Look at this picture. So Lars, thank you. That's a real picture Lars just took. Look at this stuff. It's like it's unbelievable. It's so beautiful. I saw those. I was like, this is unbelievable. Just thank you so much for giving me those pictures. Thank you, Lars. It means the world to me. I mean, it really does. Yeah, in a lot of ways, it just means the world. Thank you so much. It's so kind of you, so nice of you. And you guys that are in the VIP that don't know this, you need to plug in to Lars. I think you already do know this, but like Lars is in the back room, VIP restricted access. You guys, you know this. I'll do something that I would say that she would probably appreciate is going back over potentially some of the other coins that we've already talked about, right? Some of the other coins that we have discussed early on. Although, Lars, I know you're already involved with your pricing targets. If I send out pricing targets, This is the backdoor community restricted access. Only VIP members, that top level, get access to it. I just know these pricing targets. You've already implemented all of them. I just know that's such a nice thing. I mean, she literally, I know she's done that. It's just the strategy that I hear her and other people using, like double, triple down, always maintaining cash reserves. Like I just know for a fact it works. I had a discussion, Lars, today with some video producers. I wanted to let you know some different video producers, kind of doctorate level or master's level, really engaged video producers who were talking about some different styles and branding and some different things. And I'd like to get all of your input on it at some point as well, because there's always a mix between trying to have a good time, trying to have something that's just kind of fun and exciting, and definitely having something that's like serious enough. We don't want to get too serious all the time. I try and really prevent that, in terms of like being overly serious. But yeah, just understand, like, Lars is excited because we're not trading a breakout of a pattern. We're just not. We are going to trade. Like, can you imagine? Well, I was talking about that right before when Lars decided to go, all $99 super chat on us, which is awesome. People just rack those up sometimes, and that's Lars just shouting out to the group and telling you guys she loves you and telling you guys she's definitely supporting the community, and we appreciate that. That gesture, without a doubt, is very important. That she was able to do that, and we're gonna make sure. Lars, you may want to update a picture for us. Come and put your picture up on there where you have on the bottom right. Hector and Andrew, you're going up. All right, I got to tell you, you're going up. That's just it. So you're going to be there too. So get me the best picture that you want of you. You'll be up on the screen tomorrow, and we may make this a little bigger. We'll see what we do. So shout out to Angel on top. He's done 1,300. We'll see. I joked with Andrew. I was like, I don't know. He may want to put some chandeliers in the place, literally like on the screen or something. I have no idea. We'll see what Angel and all you guys want to do with the channel, but it could be funny. We'll have some fun with it while we make money, and that's the deal. Lars letting us know that she's doing well, and I know she is doing well. So I appreciate that very much. It's a very heartfelt move on your behalf. Thank you. So as we look at this, people will trade a breakout of like, say, a rising wedge, okay? We'll understand a rising wedge to be, we'll agree essentially that this is going to be a continuation pattern. Any kind of upward channel is essentially going to be bearish. That's just the fundamentals of technical analysis. People know that. Everyone knows that, right? So we don't need to review that too much. It's supposed to spill out to the downside. It's a continuation pattern, meaning it enters from the top and it goes towards the bottom, right? It's going to have that top to bottom flow. That's just the way that it's a continuation pattern. That's what it's going to continue, is its trajectory. Okay, even though it's an upward wedge, any upward, particularly upward diagonal, it's going to have to be upward diagonal, but unless it's just upward. But we've got, you're going to have, this is always going to be any upward channel, let's say upward facing channel. I don't want to include any kind of sideways action. We'll go through flags at a later point in time. But you can just look at this. This is probably a better example here, just so you can kind of understand. It's like we have kind of even on how many upward channels do we have here? Let's just look. It's like they just don't work out well. Okay, these upward channels, even these are little upward channels. They don't speak well of the entirety. So whenever you guys identify an upward channel, just know it seems kind of bullish. It's going up, right? Every upward channel, guys, is an opportunity to fall out. Okay, whether or not, and I'm talking about whether or not you're in a bullish trend, whether or not you're in a bearish trend, all these upward channels, literally, guys, are built and designed and have the framework of falling out to the downside. If you're in the most bullish pattern, or bullish kind of, season, etc. No, you always put a big warning sign up next to any upward diagonal channel you see. You put a big warning sign there. You're expected to cave out of that thing. Okay, we don't like upward diagonal channels. We do not like them. They're an indication of anything that at some point. It lasts a long time. We'll note, the more you take note of the fact, well, this one seems to have lasted a really long time, you may get an additional push. You may get another 30, 40, 50%. You want to measure that on wave theory, right? But as you look at that, this fallout is very natural. It's expected. Now, the sad part is when people encourage other people to trade on an option on this with the understanding they're going to hold it, ad infinitum all the way down and risk what? Risk people getting involved here, waiting for like a confirmation they don't get on the way out of the channel, then entering into it heavily with cash and then going down and getting wiped out of their position on the rebound at a standardized level of a Fibonacci. This is the deal. You're going to hit these pricing targets. When you hit these pricing targets on the way down, I'm going to tell you the odds are, I've done the empirical research, guys. Okay, I've done kind of as scientific as I can get with it. I'm kind of trained. I have an intelligence certification. Okay, so I've done a lot of empirical, evidentiary kind of base and data-driven like research, right? I have. That's part of who I am. Now, in terms of that, yeah, empirically, it's going to hit these levels, these research levels, and that's going to compromise your options position. And it's not even being planned for in the breakout of these. And that's being done continually by people in the community over in Dubai, etc. Just go ahead and put your money in and get some free cash and take out this trade. We'll do it together. And then you get washed out. Oh my gosh, like time after time after time. The fact that there's no accounting here for when you break out of a level, you have to expect some kind of price action at these levels of support. That's why we have them. They're pricing targets. You're going to get some pricing action to the upside. If you're retracing, it's going to be a level of support which is identified. Guys, it's not going to be a stop certain. It's going to be a rebound and move to the upside. So that's concerning to me. Those types of things are showing me there's not a level of intelligence amongst a lot of these guys who are real loud or have followers or, who are doing kind of the masses. The masses don't pick up on that level of discernment. Okay, yes, you're breaking out. However, you're going to run into pricing targets. Okay, while you're waiting for a confirmation, this is the problem. While you're waiting for a confirmation here, well, I can't enter now. Well, I'll go ahead and enter now. Bam. Did you get wiped out there? The market makers are just genius at wiping people out. And so is like common sense, right? Because you're going to hit these different levels of the Fibonacci's. You're going to experience this volatility. And if the thing moves against you, you can just get absolutely hammered on your options. I don't like people losing their money. It's one thing if I'll put I'll put like a cup of coffee on this deal. I kind of see it's not a big deal, but maybe it'll have a huge 100x or something. Or maybe I'll put, if it's a new investment, maybe I'll put $5,000, $1,000, something light into it, something like that. But not on this. Not when you have like a conflicting approach in terms of profiting versus losing. It's like, your profit loss, if you're really to look at your risk reward ratio, I just think it's a consistently negative proposition. It has been. It just has been. As people have gotten washed out. When we saw that big move to the upside today, and Lars, I think you saw that. Lars just with a super chat, just really a $99 super chat. Very, 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 very nice of her. I can't say enough about Lars and how great of a VIP member she is. We love her to death. Absolutely. Now, what is this hitch right here? This is just another example. What is this hitch? It's the golden pocket. That's how well things work on retracement, right? That is your interim small pricing action, okay? It's not so small. We achieved that today. But, yeah, on the interim here, the interim approach, we achieved a hit right here at the golden pocket. All right, so that's a pre-designated level. All right, that's a very important level. We focus on Fibonacci's all the time. They apply to each and every price action. The more that we dig in, like the more microcosmic that we get, you'll start to see hits at all the different levels of the Fibonacci. Okay, believe it or not. Yeah, you'll start to see the hit here, right? You'll start to see, if it skips a level, it'll normally make up for it on the next level. Okay, if it's a real drastic move to the downside, sometimes it won't. It'll still kind of hiccup along, but these are your levels, Fibonacci's, right? Real straightforward calculations that are built into, like, you want positive trades, focus on Fibonacci's with us, right? If you see an opportunity, I'm bringing it to you for day trading. If it's too high, you're worried about it, I don't want to lose my money, focus on the Fibonacci's. On the macro and maybe on the micro, kind of zooming in. That's just a beautiful chart right there. That just shows you, and it's not much. This is on the small little interval of price movement we had today. The price movement. Okay, so as we look at that, I'd say on the top level, what'd you make, a point? Maybe you made 1%, 2%. Maybe you're making moves here, just literally making it's kind of intraday flash trading. A lot of people do that, guys. I have a lot of trades myself that literally have like 8-second timestamps on them. Believe it or not, I have trades with 8-second timestamps on them. 7-figure trades with 8-second timestamps or 5-second timestamps. Literally, 7 figures, guys. 25 grand. You think that we're moving quickly now? You guys in the VIP, you think we're moving quickly now? I'll show you some returns at some point. I will endeavor to do that with you guys. I don't want to show it to you now because I don't want you to necessarily do that. It's not required. We like fundamentals. We like being able to structure out our day and have kind of a normal roll at the market. But yes, these are trades. These are trade levels. They are, and they will forever be. I just let's hope they're not going to disappear. The Fibonacci's, right? They've been around for hundreds of years, right? I mean, you apply them back for centuries, and they prove to be true. So, guys, these are trade levels. We know this, but when you look at it like that, it's like, okay, that makes sense. And then what do you have on top? Like every time on top? Well, yeah, I kind of have to say, guys, you're going to have that. It kind of defines the entirety of this. You're going to have, a little bit of a, I'm going to say a little bit of a move here, right? You're going to have a little bit of a move here, right? Yeah. You guys see this. You're going to have a little bit of a move here. Yeah, that's right. You're going to have a little bit of a move here, right? Yep. And you're going to have, let's see, a little bit of a move here. Well, what if you skip a level? Well, that's where I like what I hear from from Lars. She's a great example. She just shouted out with $99, guys. What I'm gonna say? She understands. Well, if you were to go through a level, you just need to be prepared to carry that down. I would think I'd probably hear her say, you need to be able to carry that down to the next level, and you need to be able to like cover that with like a triple down of the previous level. Maybe a 4x or a 5x of your investment amount, to where you're never fully overexposed at a higher level, right? So if this decides to take off and for some reason we just don't want to hit the golden pocket, now the thing is on a different time frame, we've already hit it. So that you guys know, we zoomed in because on a different time frame, we did hit it. So we may not be showing it right now. This hit, okay? These levels hit. They just do. How much? Well, it's going to depend. Do you ever really blow through one? Is there ever a market where there aren't orders at a specified level? Maybe. Okay, maybe. I'm going to say maybe because it's in all likelihood already algorithmically programmed into, guys, the function of the market. That's why the Fibonacci's work kind of, I'd say, in tandem with the pricing and the retail traders and the institutional traders, et cetera, is because it's built into the algorithms. It's the mathematical componentry of the pricing action that allows people to trade with a degree of expectation. Okay? Otherwise, there's not a good degree of expectation. Would you guys agree? Otherwise, we wouldn't have a degree of expectation. Now, the good thing is it's a natural order of pricing function, of pricing growth. It just is. It's a natural order of pricing growth. It's kind of, the fundamentals of technical analysis discuss that. If you talk about like Elliott wave theory, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? If you talk about Elliott waves, guys, Elliott founded his work on Fibonacci's. So we can talk about Elliott's, we can talk about different wave theories, but guys, he founded his work, do your research, on Fibonacci's. He incorporated Fibonacci's into the entirety of his work. So we can talk about things like that. It becomes kind of unnecessary if you really know how he formulated his work. We've done the research behind it. You guys have too. You have the books. Lars, she has a copy of John J. Murphy's Principles of Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets. He also wrote a great book. Guys, that's the go-to book on Wall Street. If someone told me that when I didn't know it, man, I would have. Someone told me that in high school. And I've since confirmed directly, et cetera. And I know that for a fact. That's the go-to book on Wall Street. You want to know how they trade? Maybe you do or maybe you don't. But how has trading evolved? What are the fundamentals of it, right? It's just like crypto trading, guys. Crypto has some more volatility to it. We love that. It has some different social dynamics. All your social dynamics and everything can still be boiled down to technicals. which is great because that means that you have kind of a guide. You have something to look at. You have a framework to essentially, if your goal is to beat the market, you have a framework with which to do it. Otherwise, it's a shot in the dark. We definitely don't want the shot in the dark. So as we look at this is one we'll just kind of leave over here. It looks like it's pouring down pretty well, right? Now we can go into here, and even if we go into here, I do want to let you guys know it did hit. It did hit. How much did it hit? And you say, well, that's not anything. Well, it depends on how much you're trading. Because look at this, guys. You're going to say, well, that didn't hit. Come on, Lonnie. That didn't hit. We look at that. That's not a trade. Are you sure? Look at this. Okay. Yeah, it did hit. It did hit. Right when you tell me it's not going to hit, I'm going to go to a different time frame. I'm going to show you that a positive trade could have been executed. It's going to be real difficult unless you don't have any trades, guys, at these levels. Okay, I know you had trades at these levels. I know people, probably members of our group, had some, maybe potential small trades at these levels. Okay, this is the hit. Do you see the red line here? Yeah, okay. This right here to this right here is the expression of the support line, of the support level. Positive, okay, kind of rebound in price. This goes on at essentially every, I'm going to say practically, based upon empirical studies, etc., practically upon every single level of support, even though it looks like there's no movement. I mean, this is just, if we go to a different time frame, you have to understand nothing happened there, right? Nothing, right? Let's go to, barely, let's just go to the lines. Oh, no. Look at that, guys. You missed all your trades, didn't you? Not at all. See, you have to be able to know what to look for. You have to know the ins and outs of TradingView. You just have to. All right? It's crucial. You have to know how to set trades up. Okay? If it goes down, you have to know we're going to beat this thing. This is why we're here. We are here to beat the market, right? So as we look at that, that's just this, and this is the dynamic of, I'm going to say this golden pocket. Shout out to Marion over in Belgium. I hope you're doing well, Marion. Let's go to some other things that we were working on earlier. O3 BTC doing well. Form USDT. Okay, let's see what we have. Form. We can look at Form getting a little bit of a hit. A little bit of a Form was a great one today. Like, what a great guys! It really performed well. That was up to a 40% gain, guys. Nice price action. Congratulations to the VIPs. I just brought that to you guys. Okay, on a multiple tiered down, heavier weight approach from what you guys are telling me your strategy, right? It's what I'm hearing the VIP say. Up to a 40% gain. And it looks like it spent a while up there, right? It wasn't like, you had to guess it when to sell. Look at this thing. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice the way the price action just kind of developed there on Form? Look at that. Just nice straight line for you guys to kind of look at. It looks like it even got into kind of formulating something you could really, at a different time frame, be able to distinguish as being, look at that. That made the job really easy, didn't it? Yeah, because you made like a 40% gain. You might have cut it loose here. And then look, it looks like you triangulated very easily. And it looks like you knew exactly when to sell, didn't you? Isn't that nice, huh? You knew exactly when to cut this loose based upon principles of technical analysis, right? You knew you had a great move up. You might have cut it loose here, depending if your tolerance was 40%. I mean, that's pretty nice, right? That's a nice gain. 20, 30. I don't know where you cut it loose. If you didn't cut it loose at all, maybe you cut it loose here when it's frustrated. Okay, that could have been a take profit. Then maybe you said, no, look at this. We're formulating this nice triangulation. But look at this. Boom. Little stop loss. Hello. Re-engage levels of entry. Beautiful. Beautifully well done. Nice trade. Huh? Nice trade. I'm glad I brought that to you guys. Yeah, I'm very glad I brought that to you guys. So that is positive. I just run through that for you, Lars. And I like that, Lars, because you just stay up there for a while, huh? I appreciate that. Lars shouting out with a $99. She is just a great, phenomenal VIP player. You guys, if you're new to the stream this evening, hit the like button so I know you just showed up. And let's see what we have. This backdoor access is huge. Exclusive VIPs getting trade after trade after trade. 70% yesterday on a trade. Guys, maxed out at 70% on a trade. Multiple trades. guys, in those back in the exclusive restricted zone. Like it's phenomenal how the price action is unbelievable these days, and it's not it's something that I really see them measuring up to in terms of strategy, right? It's nice. It's not like this, risky event on options or something like that. No, it's a different story, guys. Different story. Definitely preserving cash at the lower levels, right? Yeah. Not being overexposed at any one individual higher price point. That's what I continually see. Let's see. Chris, what's going on, brother? London has been on fire this past week, and so have you, brother. You are a professional guy. I do not talk that much directly with you, or I'd say around about your name, etc. You guys need to know how professional Chris, who just shouted out in the chat, what a consummate professional he is. He is that kind of guy. It's a pleasure to know you. It's an honor to know you. You guys are you're right there next to Lars. That just makes a lot of sense. And hey, with the exchange and everything else, it takes the due diligence on the back end. But we've had a great time, haven't we, guys? Chris knows his stuff. By the way, like Lars knows her stuff. You guys know your stuff. I'm just going to say Chris knows his stuff. You guys, if you get a chance to interact with him in the VIP, in the DM, etc., just remind yourselves, Chris knows his stuff. And I can say that about so many of you. And he knows that too. He's like, I know. He's like, a lot of people know their stuff. So let's look at the Bitcoin USD. And thank you for the compliment, Chris. I appreciate that very much. It's been a lot of fun, and it's going to get better. Believe it or not, it's going to get better. We're going to be ripping through this stuff, brother. You got to know that. Right now, we're having a lot of positive a lot of things are positively indicated, but you have to know that. We're going to get absolutely, brother. Absolutely. It's a pleasure to know you. We're going to have so much fun. The next 3 to 6 to 12 months, you have no idea. We're going to have a blast. You're like 3 to 6 to 12 months? Yeah, 3 to 6 to 12 months. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be fun. We're going to carve out our niche, and we're definitely going to what do they say? Make a mark and kind of enforce it. Something I don't know. There's some kind of. I like football analogies. We're gonna take this thing to the. You guys come up with the football analogy. We ain't playing football. How about that? And we'll talk about something else. We have all these military guys, professional investment bankers. Like I don't have to stay all rough and tough all the time. You guys come up with a good analogy. I'll let you guys do that. But we're gonna win. I know that much. I love talking about. I was explaining that to 2 video producers today. And they were talking about, just kind of the branding, everything else. And I was just talking about we don't lose. Our deal is we are not going to lose. And they were like, what kind of branding? What are you doing? I'm like, you don't get it. We don't lose. Like our brand is we don't lose. And they're just like looking at me like, well, that's fine. I played a video for them. They're like, to tell you the truth, we really like the direction that you're taking this. We really like, and I'm like, yeah, we don't lose. And they finally got it after they listened to some stuff. And I'm like, no, you need to listen to this. Now, I played them a little bit of the video and like, we do not lose. And they started getting inspired themselves. Like, we really like the direction. And shout out to you guys if you guys are listening from kind of those video producers I talked to today, really talented guys, would be happy to hear some great stuff and some additional kind of recommendations. That would be nice from them. Very solid characters, solid guys. So this bull flag did not hold. This would have been great in terms of Bitcoin. Would have been really nice, huh? Didn't hold. That's okay. It didn't hold. It would have been nice. And, we have just good people in the house. You guys who are not members yet, we are waiting and waiting for you guys. I don't know what's going on. But, we have had so many positive trades. This is just awesome, huh? And no one can tie us to one instrument. It's not like, well, I put a Bitcoin deal on there today on the logo, but it's like no one can tie us just to Bitcoin or just to Doge. We traded Doge positive. Well, we were saying, how could we do this, right? I have to say that we produce a video, and it's like, well, it's indicated. You guys still know this, and it looks a little bit more plausible. It's like, well, it may be a good thing we made that video, but you have to say if it's technically indicated, I'm not going to back off of it, and I don't need to. I'll never need to back off something that's technically indicated. Like, essentially this head and shoulders pattern, I don't need to back off of this left shoulder, head, right shoulder. I don't need to back off this pricing target at all. This $29,429, I don't need to back off of that. I just don't, okay? Because it's indicated technically. If it's wrong, if the textbook is wrong, the textbook is wrong. right? There's a degree of variability. We would talk about that, in terms of, it just did not complete the full expression of its technical potential. That's it. That's so easy for professionals that understand the discourse, understand the way to talk about that. It just didn't. It happened not to complete the full, the full expression of its technical potential. Very smooth, very nice. That's not people losing all of their money on an option or something else like that, or derogating or losing our ability to communicate with each other. No, we have that community to where we can actually communicate like that, right? It just didn't achieve the full expression of its technical potential. That's if it doesn't get there. Isn't that nice to hear? It's just that's the difference between this group and some other groups. It's not on, well, that's what you said. No, guys. Now, if I were leading people into options right now and saying, leverage the hill right now, no. That's where I become a little bit personally sensitive towards that, because I don't like seeing people. The problem is they'll wind up coming to our group later on after they've already been with these other groups and they've lost all this money. And so then we have to try and repair sometimes, and I'm happy to speak with people, but they'll wind up losing money with someone else. Then they'll come over to this group, and we'll have to deal with all that. So it's part of the community. I receive it as part of the community. While it's occurring, I see what's happening to investors, and I just, people learn lessons in the market a lot of times, right? You learn lessons when you lose money. And it's just people get turned off by those lessons, and they wind up spending years not being able to get back on the market. Either because they've lost too much money, or maybe it's just they've been rejected by the market somehow. I don't want people to be rejected by the market. I want them to be facilitated. I want them to win. I want them to have a good experience. I want them to get up and be excited about the market. That's how much I love it, right? That's Lars with the super chat. Every morning she's up. I mean, I tell you guys, every morning she's a team player. She is literally on the books, and I'm talking about just like absolutely here. She is literally in the chat. She is going through charts, going through good morning, how are you? Just a phenomenal team member, like unbelievable, right? She's like, I am, and she loves it. She goes camping. She wants a Starlink. She wants a Starlink from Elon or whatnot, just to stay plugged in. Like, just a great trader. She's just really phenomenal. It's been good for me to see someone that is that dedicated continually, because I am as well. And we just have that group. That group dynamic is just really positive. So let's see. As we look here, let's look at the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. We're looking at a trajectory still of 29,000. That's just it. Now, you say, well, it went back up today. Sure did. Where? Right at a key level of a Fibonacci. Boom. Okay? Perfect level of Fibonacci. It hit. We did the video this morning, and I sent this information, this breakdown, out last night. Guys, that breakdown was huge, right? It was just like everyone's like, oh my goodness, right? Because I had sent that out, and just understand, just to review this real quickly, it was a heck of a hit. We're not covering technicals. Well, I'm covering technicals. Last night at 1 a.m, this guy's channel went down. You guys know this guy, Corn Bureau? His entire channel, he's got like 1 million followers. His whole channel went down today. Ouch, right? They lost his Google security key, whatever that was. Now, look at this. I went to bed last night at 1 o'clock in the morning or so. I sent this Head and Shoulders, beautiful chart that I came up with, by the way. Hope you guys really enjoyed that. But look at this. If you look at it on the right-hand side, okay, it hadn't broken down yet. So I did the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. We also had a Head and Shoulders here to the left, okay, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. It broke down. It achieved its potential. Then we have the inverse Head and Shoulders, okay, right here, inverse Head and Shoulders. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 Head and Shoulders that we're working on, guys. This one here in the middle, the inverse here, guys, you had an inverse here and an inverse here. This one failed, barely. It failed, barely. It literally could have gotten you up to the stratosphere. It didn't. I called it that it didn't. Fortunately, I didn't get involved in this trade at all, okay? So we were up here standing in the green zone. They wound up copying the green zone. That's fine. Take it if it helps you. If it'll save some of your options guys out there, you other channels out there, if it'll save them some money, just take whatever you need. I mean that. I don't want people to have a bad experience. And I genuinely mean that. Take what you need. Help your people, help your subscribers. So we have this left Head and Shoulders here. Fully from the peak of the head to the neckline. Okay, the neckline is essentially, going to be determined by the two pivot points in between the head and the shoulders. Real easy. The pivot point all the way down. Okay, that's the neckline. Then you have the expression from the head to the neckline all the way down to here, achieved. Expression on the negative, okay, or the inverse, achieved. Okay, expression again on this head and shoulders, achieved. This one failed. So you're coming off the tail end of a failure. Is it possible that this one would fail? It could happen. But I wrote this last night. I think I copied up J.P. Morgan and I copied up everything from Barclays to Citibank, whomever. And Elon, I said, how's your right shoulder? Right, I woke up this morning, and after I wrote that, then we woke up and bam, it broke through. It just didn't seem like it was going to hold and it was going to enter into a head and shoulders. So the interesting thing is after that occurred, because it just looked like, what was that? Unfortunately, that just wiped out everybody. Okay, because why? Because it picked back up. Did it wipe us out? Not at all. It didn't wipe us out at all, because once it broke down, after I sent that, you guys understand, I sent it before it broke down. What happened is it broke down, then it hit a level of support. So I did the video this morning on we're exactly on a Fibonacci level. Bitcoin's exactly on a Fibonacci level. We'll see how strong this level is. So the fact that it went and it took off, I'm excited because members of the community here, people have joined at the high level, they're involved in the trade. I have no qualms the fact that it went up. People on the other side of the pond that are entered into over leveraged on an option, again, they're stuck unidirectionally. They cannot operate except for one direction, right? They're gonna get wrecked. They're gonna get washed out. So, I have kind of just a distaste for heavy options trading. You can lose friends, you can lose a lot of people in the market, and you can burn a lot of people. So I'm just not real into that. So we'll see what this wants to continue to do on kind of the micro Fibonacci's, right? Just the micro here and on the macros as well. So this head and shoulders, essentially to me, is still playing out. Now, if it doesn't, again, guys, I fall back on the principles of technical analysis, on like New York Institute of Finance, on like Wall Street's primers, right? I'm just going to say, well, if it didn't, it just did not achieve, essentially the full performance of its technical capacity. Very easy. No one's going to blame me for that in the channel. Everyone understands we have a very, very sophisticated group. We really do. We're covered, from what I see, you guys are covered on the upside and the downside. As we talk about day trading now, the group I had already gone through earlier tonight, and I just want to reinforce the whole idea is like, can you book positive trades? Positive price action is going to give you the opportunity to engage in positive trades. That's a good thing about price action. It's not necessarily that, we struck it, all the way up to and went heavy in and got a 70% trade. Whoa. What if that didn't work out, right? That's the idea. What if that trade didn't work out? What if you went below that price? Are you covered on the downside? I hear you guys doubling and tripling down at each kind of level of the Fibonacci to preserve your cash at the lower levels. That's brilliant. I like that a lot. And nothing here is financial advice. I just say that, and not at all. It's just the strategy I hear deployed amongst the analysts and the exchange employees, amongst the full-time kind of day traders and long-term investors. That's the strategy that I hear, that I like to repeat, that really catches my attention and lets me know that you guys are doing a great job. So as we look at that, this stack approach is, this stack is the original investment. Let's go ahead and say this is your original investment right here. Just however you want to stack this, okay? It's not directional. It's just it's not down or up or anything. This is your original investment. Let's go ahead and go there. Now, to trade around with this and make 10% and 10% and 10% and 10% until what? Until you have another stack. Oops, excuse me on that. Until you have another stack. Right? Now you've recreated your original stack, working as hard as you need to, okay? As diligently as possible to stay away from risk, to maximize your profit, but staying away from risk and ensuring you're going to build a cumulative within this original stack to where you're going to produce another one. Well, that's fantastic, right? Because then you can take this and you can stack it over here. Then you can trade your original. And you could say, well, I'm going to add just 5%, 10%, or 20%, however you feel that is indicated based upon your level of understanding. Originally, it might be, hey, I'm going to book positive trades. I don't care. I want 5%. I don't care. I need to get in the mode of hitting pricing targets. That's all that we focus on. That so heavily, guys. We so heavily focus on pricing targets. It's just they're all over the map. They're in the restricted zone, like period. They're all over the map, right? So booking 5 and 10% or 10 and whatever the percentage may be, almost guaranteeing as much as you can that if you ever were to blow through, what I hear you guys saying is if you were ever to blow through a certain Fibonacci level, you have that covered through a multiple at the next level. That's really smart, huh? I want to make a note of that, and I do when you guys talk about that. It's very important to me. So once you add in, you compound up the entirety of this again, well, heck, now you've got 2 stacks. That's real nice. And so the day trading, kind of these newer coins, et cetera, with a lot of volatility, they're giving you price action to work with to book positive trades. That's really nice, I got to tell you, because a lot of these other coins, it seems really random when they want to kind of take off, right? It really does. It really does. And it's kind of like you have to guess in between 20 or 30 or 40 different coins. That's no fun. Like we're able to identify, like, what do you think, guys, 3 or 4 of them? 3 or 4. Continually, guys, on the days just back to back to back. It's like I can't give you additional ones right now because there's so many, right? I have that much price action to look at, and you guys understand that. We had one go for 70% yesterday on a trade. Nice. One today went for 25%. I think I had one today go for 25% in 10 minutes. You're like, whoa. I don't know how if it, I mean that's a lightning quick, right? But as you look at that, maybe it's a 5% trade, right? Maybe it's a 10% trade. Always being covered on the downside. I'm really impressed with you guys, with your strategy. It's a great strategy, guys. I really am impressed that you're continuing to use that and you're trying to stack. See, once you stack, guys, once you stack 1 or 2 of these, look at this. It's been a good time, right? Yeah, you've got that. And then what are you playing with? You're playing with house money, right? Then you're just playing with house money. Then you can continue, then as your game develops, you're going to get into probably some different understandings in terms of it's not just 5%. No, this one's going to go for probably 20. This one might go for 30. This one might go for 40 or 50. You're going to be able to gauge things once you understand the pricing behavior. Once you've built up, what if each stack took you 20 trades or 30 trades to get through? So, well, wow, that's a lot of trades. Well, what if you got through 20 or 30 trades and you doubled your stack with 20 or 30 trades, high probability trades? That's beautiful. Then, guys, then you're not just executing the trades. You're going to that different level to where on each trade you've probably seen the pricing action afterwards. So you've experienced the trade while you're in the trade, and afterwards you started to learn, well, at the different levels of Fibonacci, I remember, because I've been through 30 of these now, I remember that there's probably more price action at, let's say, this level in here, because it's going to be confluent between the micro and the macro. Yeah, that's going to be a bigger hit. I'm probably going to expect about a 15 to 20% hit on that, particularly since it's the first time it's hit that level. And I know that once it hits a level multiple times, probably it has a little bit more, I say, gravity pushing down upon it, right? The sellers are going to probably exert some more pressure. See, so there are some different nuances that you guys are putting together that is really strategic, that I really see as like being positive for those of you looking to, essentially build your stack, right? Build your stack. And what are you doing? Well, you're going to build your stack and you may build it like 5 or 10% at a time. That is phenomenal. That is so phenomenal to want to just stack the cash. And then you're just working with a portion of it, right? So that's nice, and it tells me you're enjoying the game. You want to last, right? You definitely want to last. You're going to last. I'm just going to tell you, it's going to be hard to beat you guys. It's just going to be hard to beat you. So congratulations to all of you, to your VIP members. And, that's the top level of membership. Okay, pricing targets. I don't know how many trades. I've started to write this in the back of John J. Murphy's book that I have. That's a big deal for me to write the trades in the back of my Principles of Technical Analysis book. That's a big deal. You guys know that. It's like, whoa, London's serious now. I am because we need to get serious. I need to stay serious for you guys, but still having fun. I'm still having fun with it. So, 03 was 70%. Forum went up, I think, 50% yesterday. Some people, I asked their opinion on it. I didn't know. I was like, I want to know your opinion on it. I asked opinion to a few people, just some of the key supporters. Lars was one of them. And I asked her opinion on forum, and it went up. I think I wrote her the email, just or the DM and the VIP, etc. The back chat, and she wound up, or I don't know, but it went up 50% after I sent that to her. So it was nice to get her opinion on that. I'm looking forward to seeing what crossover or what other exchanges might we be able to incorporate for people who might not have access to Gate. That's going to be one of the things that I have kind of like check marked. I have a big, checklist that's on the top of the checklist, because I want to make sure everyone can use Gate. Some of our international, kind of extraordinaries may not be involved in Gate yet, right? So I need to hear from the Australian contingency. I think Omer has stated that yes, he's in Gate. That's nice. And to the extent that, other people are or are not, we need to try and accommodate that. We need to work as the team. And it's just been a few days on it, so we'll continue to definitely do that. We'll definitely make that happen. So let's take a look at the Fibonacci's again. Let's test this, and let's see on the hourly where we're going, what's going on. All right, this is a dig down past the 86. Wow, that's a nice level to achieve. All right, so we can go down to, we can dig into that, but we've already kind of gone through that. It's just looking like it's kind of pouring out. That's, at least there's a price action. You guys know it needs to go down to pick up pricing targets, right? There's just the definition of a bull market. You guys will like this from a technical standpoint. Is the bull market is defined by the fact that 90 to 95% of the people who are long the market, listen to this if you can, you'll learn something. 90 to 95% of the people who are long in the market already have a position in the market and close to their maximized position. That's the definition of a full-blown bull market. That's just it. It develops to that level, and the problem is you run out of additional investment funds. Okay, that's why there's typically a pattern towards the top. Okay, in terms of that psychology and how that how that goes forward. That's just a real important dynamic, guys. So I'm happy to be able to bring that information to you. That is a part of John J. Murphy's work. You guys will find that in there. New York Institute of Finance is the go-to players on that. I'm going to get these stacks. I'll leave those stacks up top, or I'll take them out. You guys put those stacks in your kitty and you hold on to them. You guys know that. It's great to hear your strategy, etc. So let's see what else we have. We still have this full expression of the price, in terms of where this should be headed. And I did the video last night. Just it poured out right after I wrote that to Elon, et cetera. So I CC'd him. And I don't know. We'll see how this does play out. But I'm just glad you guys didn't get wrecked at all or washed out by options. Thank you. I haven't heard of one of you getting washed out by options. So let's see. FSN USD is kind of retracing a little bit. It's hit. Where does it hit, guys? Yeah, we know this. Everyone's like, okay, we get it. But it's right in line. This is what I talk about. Like, give me the price action, and guys, I'll show you the levels, and I'll show you what people are hitting. This is what people are hitting. Like Lars will hit this. All I have to do is give the pricing action. That's all. It's at the point you guys need the coins, you need the heads up, you need the market, you need the exchange, and I'm giving you that, right? So yeah, it's working out well. The first level that's gotten hit is what, guys, on FSN, right at the 23.6, right? That's why we hit pricing targets. We're kind of like pricing target aficionados, right? Give us a Monte Cristo and some pricing targets. We'll be happy, right? And that's just very, very clear. Just real clear as day how this is kind of working out. We have the colors adjusted a little bit to kind of just rewrap our mind around the red and the green, because like on the Fibonacci's, we have the green right next to the red. Right? Everything is red and green. Like, that does not mean this is a money zone. It just doesn't. The real money zone's down here, right? So we redo this. Excuse me. Let me put this settings. Let me save this as, I think that's FinFib. Let me save this. You guys don't want me to do that. I can go ahead and do this, and we can go to the true red and green. Boom. That's more reasonable. This is the most likely spot for you to have some serious price action. The team knows that. VIPs know that. beyond question. Like, I know that because I've been discussing that with them, right? So it's been it's really nice that you guys understand things like that. We've been able to cover those issues like very, very well, right? There we go. That's what it does look like. Wait, the green's way up here. Oh, we look all day long for the red and the green. What's making money? What's not? We're constantly searching for the green, right? Well, yeah. Let's just remind ourselves that the green's not really there. It's kind of it's kind of all the way down here. So we make distinctions, distinctions like that. And yeah, that's just that is part of what we do. So let me see these ZenFib. We will go back to, there we go. So we'll adjust these a little bit more. I put in the 86. The 86 is kind of the unknown level that people don't necessarily talk about all the time. You have the 78. The 86 is the level below the 78. I wouldn't let people confuse on that issue. 86, 78 is typically indicated below that. We're seeing a lot of price action. Guys, get excited about the fact the market's kind of down. We're seeing a lot of positive price action. Right, so this may be a really good thing as we look forward. It's like, well, we have a lot of potential incredible price action, right? I would expect more of that instead of less of that. So if you guys look at trading, where we're headed, what we're doing, I would expect more price action. Believe it or not, you'd be like, wait, hold on, that doesn't make sense because at the top of the market. If we were to look at, let's take a look at Doge. I mean, that just runs contrary to belief, right? That runs contrary to any idea of like semblance of like order in your mind. Is like, how could you have more price action, at a lower level than you did like at the higher levels? Well, one of the reasons is because you're at a lower price. So an equivalent move, if we were to take this equivalent move and let's say measure it from here to here on top, you guys can just pay attention. You'll get this. Okay, the equivalent move on top would be like 35%. If we were to drop the equivalent move, the same move down, guys, instead of 35%, you're looking at 200%. You're looking at 200% instead of 35%. Do you understand the equivalent move? We can call it just the equivalent move kind of theory, etc. That equivalent move would be 35% and around the top. If you were to drop it down, this is like the good news of the century. Everyone's like, we like this, right? The equivalent move on the downside would be about a 200% move. Okay, so that's real important as we look at the different opportunities, as we look at, as we look at the parameters of where we're headed and what we're involved in. Just expect more good trades, expect a lot of fun, and you got to deploy that strategy I keep hearing you guys talk about, right? You got to deploy that. That's really crucial, and I know you guys will. Looking forward to seeing you guys continue to deploy that strategy. It's going to be a good deal, right? It's going to be continually impressive. I just know it is. So let's look at if we have any questions. I'll be happy to. If you guys have just shown up or you've been here a while, hit the like button so I know you're kind of new to the channel. I'm going to put some music on here in just 1 second. Let me have a sip of coffee. Just 1 second. Thanks. All right. I don't drink coffee too late, but sometimes it's just good stuff, right? So let's see what we got. I hope you guys had a great Father's Day. I'm sure you did. And I would like to know who is in the house this evening. Let me know who's in. If you guys want to just pepper up the chats a little bit, let me know who is here and kind of what you guys are looking at. It would be nice. I love the group. I have to let you guys know I love the group. You guys have no idea. I have looked at different channels just briefly enough to where I'm like, good gosh. Some of this stuff I'm like, there's no way, right? Thank you guys for being professionals. I'm so glad. I just saw a few things today. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. We're currently looking at DOGECOIN. And, sometimes we talk. Sometimes we kind of hang out. Sometimes other people are just like, yeah, we don't get it. There's this channel, and they're just talking. We don't like it. I'm like, well, we're doing technical analysis all day long. So we kind of like, I like to know what they're talking about. I like to know what's going on. Let's see. What should beginners do when they realize they're getting all emotional because of the markets? Oh, no. Well, you can't get emotional because of the markets. What I would say is you need to reframe you won't get as emotional unless you're getting excited, right? You might want to get excited right? When you look at potentially buying things at a much lower price, right, and having more price action and achieving more trades, it's it might be really plausible that you're able to, and you get that, huh? Why would you might get a little emotional because you might be excited about the lower prices because you guys are going to be trading. Truth. Mark's like, that's what you're supposed to think. Yeah, that's the natural way to be. If you're not plugged into that, what do you got? If you're not plugged into that mindset of, well, it may be a little emotional. Why? Because you're going to achieve heavier levels of investment at lower prices and potentially have more price action, meaning more profits. And you have to get there. What have we done this weekend? We have hammered through some price action like you guys have not seen in a while, huh? Yeah, 50%, 70%, 30%, 20%. We've had more trades than you guys know what to do with. Literally more than you know what to do with. So that's been phenomenal. While things, well, something was up. I mean, you're almost achieving like, I'd say probably like an options level of volatility without that level of risk. You can still schedule in double, triple down. From what I hear you guys, your strategy, is continually that double and triple down, right? Yeah, at the lower levels. So you're still maintaining that cash from what I read, et cetera, on those lower levels. But you're going to deploy that cash in increasing levels once you go down. So it should be more exciting to you because you're standing a better chance of making money as it goes down. I mean, you can reverse it if you want to, and you can get excited about this up here, and it's nice to work these breakouts. We work these breakouts all day long still. And when we work the same breakout down here, we're getting a bigger percentage move with the same kind of measured distance. We just went through that. So you may be getting excited about this. I would take this weekend as a huge indicator of the fact that you're going to have some really phenomenal investment opportunities. And guys, you're sitting on the golden pocket right now for DOGECOIN. Okay? Now it's the 1, 2, 3. Is this the 1, 2, 3, 4? Is this the 5th time we're on it? Let me take a look. I think it's the 4th time we're on it. The 4th time we've hit the golden pocket. That's a lot, guys. So if it wants to, it can go down to the 786. What's the good news about that? There are orders waiting. Just imagine this, guys, that literally there's going to be some massive deployment of cash at that level if it gets there. If it can get there. Why? Because right now you're frustrated in price. You're sitting there. And while you don't want to admit it, you're sitting there is bothering you. You say, I don't want to go down, but you're not experiencing any price. I'd say any price action. You're just not. So the lack of excitement, the lack of additional funds, investments, I'd say there's a lack of additional, like a surge in demand. It's just not happening right now. So people are kind of getting stagnant. It gets exciting when I bring you guys a lot of price action. Okay, when I bring you a lot of price action, you're seeing like, whoa, 70% a day. Well, that's exciting. Yeah, it is exciting. That's why we have this, the back door, everything, like all this stuff. You guys understand that this community tab is huge for you. And Twitter is huge for you. That's where I'm tweeting out to all of you. I need you guys to subscribe with notifications on so I can inform you, hey, you need to go to the community tab and check it out. You may have, 10 minutes, you may have 10 hours. But typically there are things you want to take care of as soon as possible. So, yeah, I'd say if it can add some additional pricing dynamic, that's great. And you're going to have to understand, as you get lower in price, it's just there's more of a percentage gain. If you look at the move at the 50%, just look at this, right? The gain. And you guys, this is not necessarily intuitive, all right? The move, the 50% move, okay, it's 50% of a retracement, giving back up 50% in the price, okay? Now, if you go from the 50% mark, the 36 cents, you guys focus. As if you go from the 36-cent mark to the 74-cent mark, that's a 100% gain. That's a 2x. If, however, you go from, I'm just going to have to raise this a little bit. If I go from the, let's just say the 3 cent mark up to the same pattern, guys, to 37 cents is 1,020%. This is 100% up here. This down here is 1,000%. So, wrapping your mind around the fact that down here there's more possibility in terms of this is 1,000 and this is 100. But I know this is the 50% retracement. You have to wrap your mind around this, okay? In terms of the mathematics, okay? In terms of the strategy, we don't want to go down here. Are you serious? I'm just gonna say, are you serious? Because, we still trade a breakout here. We hit a pricing target. This is when you start to say we have retraced 50%. Okay, really 65%. No one can hold it against me anymore. For what we call the top, we call it exactly this pricing target on top. You guys know that, right? We were there. We called this, we also were there to steamroll in at these different levels. Boom, 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 boom. Same thing we did today. Same thing we did today. Okay, I'm on the phone at church with Jason's lit, entering into, as he's entering into the golden pocket of the 65th percentile. We are that support. We literally are that which is coming in to prop this price up. That's what we're doing, along with some other players in the market who understand how the support levels work. I mean, you guys understand that. I've learned a lot from you. Just hanging out, I've learned a ton from you guys, So as we look at this 65th percentile, yeah, you guys charge back in on that, right? Yeah. So when you think of, well, we don't want the price to go down, I have to just say, are you excited? Because I'll just tell you this, it'd be great for it to go up, wouldn't it? It would be. Everyone wants it to go to $1, right? They sure do. But look at this, 100% versus what? Well, the same exact move is going to be over 1,000%. Depending on how low you go, up to 2,000%. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, up to 2,000%, up to like a very much higher percentage, okay, than even that. So, going lower can be beautiful. You started from low, right? That gave all this opportunity for you guys to profit. But you don't want to go back there again. Think about it. All of these gains you just achieved, guys, in the market were because it was low. But you don't want to go back there? No. Guys, and it's funny, Laura's saying she's had plenty of emotional trades. I know. And everyone has. You talked yourself off the ledge. Yeah, absolutely. Huh? You have to at some point, and you have to just make sure, just make sure like you're part of a community, right? We count on you guys, right? And a lot of you are having fun with trading, right? You're enjoying booking positive trades. It's real easy. Use the strategy. Don't ever deviate from the strategy. Don't go with a lower probability trade. Don't ever not use your strategy. I love your strategy. Double, triple down, using all the micro and macro Fibonacci's. You guys understand that now. We're going to be able to develop kind of as a team and as a group. And this price action this weekend it's another step forward. It was a good step that we took because now you understand the potentials of I'd say a lower price, right? Now you understand because some of those are at lower prices now. The ones that we've been looking at on Gate. It's been nice, huh? Yeah. You guys see that level of those levels of volatility, which is really nice. So as we look at everything going on right now, we're just starting to pour down red, right? So we don't mind. We're going towards pricing targets. This doesn't faze us. A lot of you have already booked. As you look at this, a lot of you already booked like 3 or 4 positive trades in the last 24 hours. That's awesome, guys. That's amazing, right? Now, let's take a look at, we can look through. And let's, here you go. Here's 03. 03, that's 03 BTC. Let me add in 03 USD. Let me make sure that we're in the same kind of boat. On the 1 hour. Let me go ahead and just look at 03 because this is one that's wanting to play around a little bit. I'm excited about it playing around. We will get it. Confident we will get this. Let's see. It's going to be fun. Now, let's see. This is playing off some EMAs. 61, 78. I guess people aren't trading this real heavily. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure how heavily you guys are trading it. Would like to see. It's playing off its EMAs. Let's take a look at it. EMAs, the 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, and 200. Bum, 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 bum. This is just going to, it's going to react. It's going to do well. It just is. You got a major hitch here in the past. That's a nice 50, 60, 70% move. You got another hitch here in the past, which is a 70 and 85% move. Then you have after that, you have another hitch in here. That's a 100% move. You just, yeah, you're not going to get past this behaving extremely well as you look at the entirety of it. It may not be just ideal looking right now, but it's going to behave. They do. And not financial advice, but they just typically, they behave very well. And you've got it looks like a really solid floor in and around this area here. So I would just anticipate, I doubt that these levels are going to replay from the left to the right. I don't anticipate that occurring. But as you get into some kind of different structured Fibonacci's here, I would consider the fact that it may be playing off of something like this as well. If it does not, let me see, is that going to be equivalent? That's going to offer a beautiful layover there. Yeah, you're at a real strong level right now. That's just setting the Fibonacci upon the top and eliminating the prior channel here. This prior channel to the left. A lot of times your Fibonacci's will wind up being essentially structured like that on something like this, which has the prior channel. So the good thing about stacking is what? As you work towards building a 10%, a 10%, a 10%, or 20 and a 20 and a 20, 4 20s makes another stack, right? That'll essentially replicate your original investment, 4 20%, right? So it may be, however many 10% or 5% or a mixture thereof, whatever you decide your threshold is. That's why I'm real big on just absolutely booking positive trades, right? Get to where, and I say, can you book 35 in a row? At 35, you're going to double your money. I'm going to say, depending on where you're at, it's going to be difficult for you not to double your money at 35. Can you book 35 in a row? I've said that since the very beginning. The idea is to get you to book a trade to where, okay, fine. Now, there was my original investment, right? I've created another one over here, right? And then we want to create another one. Okay, great. We have that. Let's stack it up here. Okay, let's work on another one. Okay, great. We have, excuse me. Okay, great. We have another one. Let's put it over here. Then you wind up with just extra stacks. That way, you cover your risk potential on something. I'm just going to say, if you were to have to hold something, now, again, on the majority of things that we're going to get involved in, it's not like, I'm not going to get involved in something that has, well, it doesn't have any kind of a use case. It doesn't have any kind of a management. It doesn't have any kind of no. I'm not game for that. If it doesn't have management, use case, utility, and a dev team, I'm not game for it at all, right? It needs to have some explainable story, some kind of future, maybe a mainnet popping out, maybe some kind of, sharding, maybe some kind of, real story to it. So, but the good thing is, as you look at, well, we're going to drop this, bam, right into here. All right. So how many of these have you built up? How many of these extra stacks have you built up? And you should be able to get there. As I talk about, most people say, well, that would be me multiplying my money by X number of percentage. Yeah, that's the idea. You should be able to book positive trades. You guys are doing that. I talked with Jason. Jason's lit, great top level member right? Who has joined top level membership for he's been over a month. He's understanding now how to stack and build into and compound returns up on something that's going to create some additional stacks. Now, it may not be the entire stack. What you're looking at and thinking of right now is, well, yeah, I want the entire stack of, and this is where you're going to get, yeah, this will affect you. Oh, so you want the entire stack of your entire wealth profile, of your entire holdings. Oh, okay. Well, that's another story. If you've got the entirety of your holdings of all of your cash position, you want to multiply all of that by 2. Oh, okay. Well, that's a different discussion, right? If the entirety of your wealth, you're trying to multiply all of that by 2, the entirety of everything that you're worth, including like your home equity and including your all of your investments, like, if you've been investing for years, and your 401k, and wow, I mean, wow, huh? Oh, we're trading, right? I'll just tell you, we're in the process of kind of lightly, I'd say at the top, right? Doubling and tripling down. That's what I hear you guys saying, right? So, yeah, in terms of that, we're not overly heavily exposed. I'm not. In fact, I have all this down here. I'm not concerned about multiplying that into 2 or 3 or 10 or becoming rich overnight or anything like that. I understand that that's a possibility. It could definitely happen, right? We can have a phenomenal year. We can a lot of things can happen. We're dealing with new coins. A lot of interesting things can happen. Right, a lot of different things I would anticipate that will happen. You guys are a very smart group, right? You know what you're doing. So yeah, these kind of extra stacks up here, yeah, it's not necessarily that's not like the 401k, the retirement plan from Exxon, you understand? Yeah, okay. So no, we enjoy trading. So the stack that you decide to kind of invest in, okay, here we go. Yeah, we're going to put this in. We're going to work with this. It could be sizable, guys. Not that it can't be sizable, right? But you have this kind of equivalent of probably backup resource cash, bam, all the way through here, to where if anything chews into you and just decides to chew you up, well, 03, this 0, whatever, 03, I got to tell you, that was the worst. The more you get like that, the more upset you are over anything that, well, I was expecting this, and it did. Oh, whoa. Wow, you want to talk about getting emotional? You want to talk about being overexposed? Wow. I had no idea that you got that emotional about investing. I had no idea that you got that overexposed, right? Because whatever your position is, here up top, I mean it, with huge amounts of reserve capital underneath. Oh, so if and when it were to go down all the way, let's say down to the way, what if it pulled a Mark Cuban on you and tightened and just lost the whole thing? Oh, no, there you go. Well, it's just one stack. Okay, that's over there. That's fine. Well, let's take all the remaining stacks. Maybe you have 30 or 40 of these, right? Oh, you have like 30 or 40 of them? Oh, I see. So maybe the entirety of this stack that could be burned on any one thing, okay? You have like 30 or 40 of them in the market. Wow. Available for the market, you have like 30 or 40 of these. Cool. And so what does that mean? Well, you have like 30 or 40 of them. They're just all in here, right? And then, yeah, that's just one little portion of what you're probably dealing with, right? That makes sense. So you're still having fun, right? And you're enjoying yourself. And not that you can't build up capital. I mean, crypto is a great way to experience phenomenal price action. Means buy low, sell high. The more consistent you are with that, the more difficult you're going to find it for you to not be making money. I'm just going to say that. The more consistent that you are in booking positive trades, buying low, selling high, the more difficult you're going to find it in not making money and not having a portfolio that's increasing. The more that you disobey the rules of probability and get lazy and everything else and disobey your own strategy that I hear you guys talk about, never being overexposed at any kind of higher level, and, always having a lot of resource backup cash. I mean, I hate to say it, but, you could take probably, I just have to say, I mean, if you've got like 30 or 40 of these, 30, 40 of these that you're peppering around and having fun with, let's see which ones we want to deal with today. Well, I got 30 or 40 of these. I'm gonna play around just like little matchsticks, right? We're gonna go throw a little matchstick over in here. All right. And if we do that, well, that's okay. Well, that one didn't light. Oh, it didn't light. Well, it's kind of like a wooden matchstick, this and that. And you decide, well, I'm going to go ahead and invest in and say, yeah, I've got probably 10 of these I want to play around with. I'm going to do one of these is going to catch fire. It's fine. It'll be fine. Well, what about the one that, can you imagine going through a matchbook and you get a little disappointed when you can't do it, a little frustrating, like, that didn't work, huh? That's about how it needs to be if one of these goes into like foil mode, right? It just, it didn't work. You know how you feel when you try and strike a match, like, shoot, that didn't work, So that's about, I draw little matchsticks in terms of your stacks of what you're putting together. Yeah, if this weren't to work out, does that mean you don't want to strike it up? No. Does that mean it won't? No. But if it doesn't, you understand. It's just like we got a whole box of these. Let's go over here. Now, if the whole box is a dud, right? If the whole box is a dud, and you're like, I really need to start a fire. You guys understand already? We have lit it up already. You already understand that. We're lighting it up on the continual, right? I'm not going to worry about it like a dud, right? It's not a permanent, it's not, the season hasn't been rained out. It's pricing. Your strategy that I hear you guys talk about is going to take care of, like, the fact that pricing action is going to occur. If you go down to, if you go down to a level, let's say we can do advanced diagnostics on this. We can get involved in this diagnostically and really kind of run through this and have a lot of fun. I'll say your RSI on this is really sweet. You want to talk about a good indicator that we do have? Look at the RSI indicator I have on 03 right now. If you're looking at, we don't know, we don't quite know. Just look at this in terms of the level of predictability as we're really to get down into this. Look at this. This is a hit in and around, and that's a special indicator I have on this. But look at that on the hourly. It did that from here, and look at that. It just decided to rail. Okay, so that was that. We have some key indicators like that. It's a ways away right now. It will catch up, but at some point, we're going to have some sort of, I'd say, a real close indication like that in terms of, an absolute potential launch event. Now you get to the point, after us having the discussion of the equivalent moves at the top levels and the lower levels, you're like, yes, I want that to occur again, and I want it to be at a lower level. Did you guys catch that? Yeah, you want it to be at a lower level because you're going to get a bigger percentage gain. Now you're starting to think a little bit longer term, right? Because that's 1,000% move. That's 950% move, right? And your RSI just came perfectly. This blue line is your RSI, okay? So that just kind of came perfectly into touch with this. So, yeah, you're seeing, well, okay, so I kind of would prefer it to go lower, right? It's done this in how many days? It's done this in 42 days. That's not bad, guys. In 42 days, it's done that. That's okay. So now you see it helps you to be a little bit lower in it. And again, it's just like a matchstick, guys. Investment level, etc. Not financial advice, guys. It's not financial advice. What I'm going to say is this little matchstick theory can just make sure you don't decide, well, we got a campfire. That's all it's going to, that's all we have in life is one campfire, and just let's set it ablaze on this one. Let's see what happens. That's not the theory. It's just, the entirety of the backup resource capital is down below. It just is. And like way below, right? And it's not just on this one. It's on the entirety to where your whole exposure here, okay, really,
you're going to divide that up amongst all the ones that you decide to invest in, whatever you decide to play in. So you may have, you may have an entire, block. Realistically, your block here may literally just look like kind of a matchbook. It may look a lot more like this. It may look like this. Just a little bit. That's it. And you've got all this down here. It may look like just a little touch of something, right? Compared to the entirety, just that regulated approach to not being overexposed. Just because that was a dud, that didn't work out. I know, huh? I know. We'll have to get some more matches. What do you guys think? Yeah, we have more matches. We're kind of in the matchmaking business. Well, that's cool. So we just produce these things. Yeah, we produce additional stacks of this stuff. That's what we should be focusing on. That's what I hear you guys talking about. Right? So I'm confident you guys can do it too, because I see the positive trades being executed. Right? I see the 5%, 10%, 30%, 40%, 50%. Yesterday I brought something to you guys that went up for 70%. Again, that's just an opportunity for you guys to engage in something that's likely to work out. And it doesn't take too many trades for you guys to start saying, hey, we got some more ammo. We got some more fire starters here. Yeah, okay, good. Let's let's stick with kind of the rule maybe of hear you guys saying, we'll stick with the rule of maybe we'll just have, one per, maybe a different thing over here. We want to do a different thing over here. And now we kind of regulated it out. And you kind of understand the way, this is maybe one coin over there, one coin over here, one over here, one over here. And kind of, maybe we diversify it a little bit. We kind of talk about, diversification, like correlation, like negative correlation on your risk exposure. It's good things like that. So we'll get into like day trading a little bit differently, and we'll let the process develop. Just don't never get overly extended at any one point in time, because the trick on 03 was that it was like a 70% rise in price. Yeah, I brought it to the group, right? And it was like a 73% or 70% rise in price and around here. Now, you guys are good enough. I can bring it to you and say, hey, look at the research I found. It goes up 70%. You guys know how to take a profit. If you don't, you got to watch like the last 10 literal streams and get it through your mind. What does profit require for us to sell when it's high? I think I wrote you guys on this one. I was like, go have a waffle. Wasn't I? I said that. I wrote you guys like, I think the price action's over. Go have a waffle. Like this was yesterday. I'm sorry. Sounds weird. I just did. I think I wrote you. I was like, I think the price action's over for the morning. Maybe everyone needs to go have a waffle, right? Anyway, if you bought in February and sold at its height, you could have taken that money and invested in more trades. Think of it as your money going down the drain. There we go. Yeah, you guys are dealing with that issue. So, yeah, we buy low, we sell high. Definitely. And we like the fact that something that has continual price action like this, we just like the fact. I just got to say, we kind of like the fact it's like a matchstick, right? And when you look at it like this, guys, it is so much easier because you don't have to be like, oh, I thought we'd be putting like, $85,000 in at the lower level. Really? Huh? Really? Huh? No, I don't think so. But you can understand when you capitalize on something that's like 1,000%, that it's okay. You see what your investment level can become and what it can turn into. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Peppering it at the top, doubling and tripling down, enjoying your trades. You'll decide what levels you want. You'll decide the percentages and the calculations. But from what I hear you guys saying, I think things are going to work out pretty well. I like the volatility in this little guy, huh? You guys, this 03, look at that volatility. It's nice. That's not bad, huh? Again, this RSI indicator, there's going to be indicators like this on a lot of different things we're going to get into that you top-level members are going to be like, wow, this is going to be fun. We're going to have some fun, guys. I would not have started this group up. Okay, I would not have worked so hard for you guys just to not have fun. Like, we're going to have fun. Okay, so you guys know that. So it is already a lot of fun. Let's check in with DOGECOIN. the Doge. Let's see what we got on Doge. Down about 5%. And that's okay. What is this green line? It just took a hitch over. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Careful what you draw on your charts. I guess that's just the equivalent of this on the other side, but it tends to do that in terms of your program tends to kind of, sometimes lip around little things that you have drawn. It'd be interesting to know if that just happened on your screen as well, legitimately, right? That's Doge, so it's heading back down towards its 65th percentile, so. And hitching up upon a very random line I just drew in to make an investment kind of example. The next level down, very easy, is the 78.6. No reason to be stressed out. Why? Because you're just dealing with another matchstick, right? Just think of it like that. Well, if it lights, it lights. If it doesn't, well, it doesn't. Right? You have backup resource capital that we have discussed. Reserves. Right? I know a lot of you do. I don't even have to say it's just a good idea. I know you do, and I know you enjoy investing, right? That's a nice thing. You guys are like, of course we do, and of course we enjoy investing, right? It's cool. It's a good group, right? It's fun, and you may have some incredible profit potential with the right group. It may be very interesting, right? It could be extremely interesting. So, what if you have the right profit potential, and while you're not risking all of the backup resource cash you have? What if, due to the profit potential, what if you could do that? What if you could? Now, that's not a goal, I would say. Maybe make it a goal, but in terms of have to happen, I don't know how big your positions are already in life. All of you, right? But, backup resource capital at some point, wouldn't it be cool if, you really hit something, unbelievable? It's like buying Microsoft, the first week of the stock. Something like that could happen, right? So, but we don't plan on it. We don't bank on it. But the idea is there. A lot of people have done very well in crypto. There's all this volatility. So, it's like Gate has been a real big surprise for a lot of people. There's probably some other surprises in terms of profitability, I'd say. Yeah, I can think of some other surprises. So I think that as we go towards things, and you guys, you have to kind of give it to us, to yourselves and me included. Hey, it's been kind of a surprise last weekend, and everything else. This has been nice, right? It's like, well, we have things, just lighting on, everything's just going through the roof, right? We have 70% trade, 50% trade, 30% trade, 220s, 215. It's that's in the last 24 hours, right? It was okay, I get it. So I labeled the cover is day trading, because at some point you guys are going to have to reckon with the fact, oh, okay, fine. I'm not just a crypto trader, because I know you're I invest in crypto. I've done real well. Yeah, at the same time, it's you're also trading. You've done well in trading. That's what you guys are into. So it's not to demean or to denounce any specific coin or anything. We still love Doge. Huge Doge fans. Just the truth. You guys hit the like button if you just showed up, please, to let me know you got here, and I can cover any information if you were not here during the very beginning. That will help me. So appreciate you guys, your loyalty. I appreciate that. I was talking with those producers tonight, and they were just they were talking about the fact the key is loyalty. Your expression of who you are, your team you're building. You want those loyal people, and I'm like, of course I want those loyal people. Excuse me. So very, very kind of the unspoken rule here, but I definitely do appreciate your loyalty, and you guys have it for me. You guys know that, huh? You know how loyal I am to you. Absolutely. You guys get a ton of my energy. It's really exciting. You guys and family. You guys are kind of like family. It's a good thing. We have a tight group. Very much appreciate that. So we'll wait. The one thing I'll kind of say, some of the coins that are offered on Gate have a little bit slow price action, especially if you're on the hourly. It's just kind of it doesn't really want to move. And then when they move, it's you better have a position, because they will take off, won't they? They will, huh? Interesting price action. We'll see how that works in terms of, there we go. See, when things bounce around at the top, you don't really know what's going on, right? When you look back at them, you see the pricing action as it's just clearly defined within the pricing targets. 10% on the top, right? Let's just flip up, decide to do something. 10% on the top. This not much. We'll see on the candles. Yeah, 10 to 5% right now. You could take that right now if you want to at 5%. Just say that's fine. You know, this had a little bit stronger of a hit, a lot of more volatility bleeding into it then. But you'll figure out the price action. You'll figure out your levels of exposure. You just will. I know you will. Right? So I look forward to you guys continuing to do that. What I'm going to do, because it's Sunday night and it's Father's Day, I want you guys to definitely plug back in tomorrow. I want to make sure your trades are up and going well, and make sure you're plugged in with all the right essentials with the principles of technical analysis of the futures market, okay? Easy for me to say. That's John J. Murphy. And also the Gate, also good crypto to check liquidity, and we'll cross-check that amongst different restrictions and different time zones, etc. And we will continue to engage in kind of like, positive identification of price action to the point of determining ability to book positive trades. And we'll work on the goals will be what I hear you guys saying. I really love it. We're going to work on trying to build these stacks. Okay. Now it's not going to be a stack of $40, guys. You're going to get, you're gonna get the hang of this. Once you start building your trades, once you start doing that, you're gonna be multiplying your money. You're gonna be building your cash position. Okay, so just give this some time and book positive trades. Guys, it's not financial advice. I'm gonna tell you, it's not financial advice. So the point is, focus on your strategy that I hear you guys talking about. It's a nice strategy, and you have just incredible price action last 24, 48 hours. We're just looking at FSN right now. It's just, these things just want to move. Like they're built to kind of move, just the green candle just kind of light up, So you'll get these moves from essentially from these, you guys know that, from your key indicated levels of pricing, guys, from your pricing targets, your Fibonacci's. So we have to know what levels to, essentially where to draw them, on what time frames, etc. And that's where I'm happy to help out with that, right? I have a good copy. I have the pro version. Right? You better give me the right answer. I have the pro version of TradingView. Right? So, they better give us the right answer, right? It's the pro version of TradingView. It should be pretty easy, right? So I can definitely do that for everybody, because I'm not sure everyone has the pro version of TradingView. So I'll be able to get that information to you. How about, does that sound like a deal? Does that sound good? That'll be pretty straightforward. In fact, it's been pretty straightforward on almost everything thus far. Again, it's just probably the upgraded subscription of TradingView. I'm almost certain of that. So we can, we can definitely continue to use that. I'm glad that I have that subscription. Whew, that's been useful. That's been real good. Let's see what else. I think we're good. You're up about 10% now on the day on FSN. That's nice. So as you look at that, even that, just as we sit here and talk and, we look at it, essentially you're up about a potential 10%. That's for the bottom here. So you're up about 8% right now. So you have, the top level trade, the next level trade. This is how it becomes really easy, guys, to try and focus on, you're starting to see it on building that extra stack, compounding in returns, building the extra stack, right? Once you build an extra stack, go over here. In fact, we're gonna put this over here. There you go, just off the map, right? So we'll get into more details in terms of kind of risk management, diversification, etc. I would just expect good things, guys. Expect real good things, and it's been a pleasure to get to know you guys. And we had a great first month. Continue to engage in positive trades. Book those positive trades. You guys have a good rest of your night. This is London with the Crypto Kingdom. Lars, thank you so much for your shout out. It was very sweet for you to do that. I really appreciated that very much. You touched my heart and soul today on Father's Day. Thank you so much. And you guys take care of yourself. We will talk to you and come to you tomorrow. I'm going to make sure your trades are good for a while and hit your pricing targets, right? Go dig into FSN and see what it has for you. We'll talk to you soon. This is London. Have a good night. Bye-bye.